Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. Welcome to the Dr. Greg Show, December 17th, 2025. Hope your day is going well. Mine's going great. Had a really good, productive day. Had a lot of stuff going on. Really excited about some opportunities. We are getting some awesome feedback from jobs. 2 in the works, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully two things that we can kind of go forward with. That would be so cool. And yeah, 2 in the works. I'm really excited about that. Yeah, good. This is just a good day. Yeah, hopefully 2 leads. You know, that's all you need. You just need a chance. You know what I mean? That's like the biggest thing about, for me at least, being laid off is that you feel kind of like worthless. You know, you're like applying to all these jobs. I've applied to like over 100 jobs now, and you just feel like I have so much to add. You know what I mean? And I feel like sometimes that I should be interviewing these jobs. It should be reversed. Like, what? Who are these companies, and why should I work for you? You know. So I'm like, give me a break. You know, it's a very yeah, it can be very self-defeating to just you feel like very low self-worth, you know. But we had 2 leads, so I think it's really cool. Guys, we have made history. I don't know. I mean, I'm not like I don't joke when I really do think that we are revolutionizing. Hey Rapture, hey, what's up? We are revolutionizing the streaming game. I think this is the best stream, obviously, right? I mean, genuinely. Science, politics, political organizing, revolutionizing how politics streamers can interact with politics by actually forming organizations, influencing legislation itself, impacting the real world, coming together, grassroots organizing, everything happening and coalescing here. I feel like this is an incredible achievement by the community, and that is one of the best things about it. And we have done something incredible, ladies and gentlemen. We have helped pass the Pennsylvania thing that we have been pushing for 1 week ago. If you're just joining, we got tasked with something. We were emailing a Pennsylvania congressperson, and he told us about how he gave us some heads up. Hey, I need help passing this legislation. And one of it expands vaccine access. It expands and ensures vaccine access for Pennsylvanians. And he gave us that info, and that's what we did for the last week. We've sent about 100 emails and phone calls in regards to that. And guess what? Today was the day that they voted. Yesterday was the day that they voted, actually. So we checked the website today. And what happened? Right here, ladies and gentlemen, right here. Third consideration, December 16th. Final passage, 106 to 97. So guess what that means? Guess what that means, ladies and gentlemen? That means that it's on to the Senate, and that is where our voice is going to matter even more, right? Because now both of these bills that this physician tasked with us personally to help lobby and influence and educate. We educate here, right? We are educating these legislators that there is a good way of doing science, right? A good way of influencing politics through science-based legislation. And we're educating them on what's going on. And we did this, and we did it. We were successful. We actually did pass this legislation, which is incredible. So maybe this could be legislation that we try to get passed in other places, right? Maybe we tell other states and other places like, hey, this is legislation that was passed in Pennsylvania. Maybe we could help pass that in other places. Just a thought. Just a thought, guys. I think that's what's going to happen. That's what we're doing. So, but our work is not done. This is just the start, right? And I think it's incredible. I think it's awesome. Now we have 2 bills in the Pennsylvania Senate that we need to push, and we're going to create new actions items. We're going to create new actions in order to really focus in, because we know that the governor's going to want us to sign it, and we know that this is a possible huge win for us. This would be a huge first test case if a political stream, if a grassroots organization, if a non-PAC funded, no big sponsors, no big public-private partnerships, no big millionaire backing, just us, just people that are engaged in politics, coming together and organizing, can we actually influence legislation? This is it. This is the test case. And I think this is absolutely exactly Rapture. This is very powerful. Genuinely, this is incredible. Nobody's done this before. Nobody has done this. Nobody has done this. People talk about politics on here. People talk about and debate politics endlessly. But nobody here is actually influencing legislation like this stream, like this community. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. We together. Yes, we can. Exactly. We can influence it. So that's what the next work is. That's what the next goal is. And just to let you know, we had another SAFE meeting today. So the SAFE Foundation, the Science and Freedom for Everyone Foundation. If you're interested in volunteering, please fill out the form, the volunteer form. If it's in the Discord, that's how we're organizing everything. So you're going to need to join the Discord and go to the announcements tabs, and it's right there, the form to fill out. And we had some awesome updates. You know, we're going, we're really honing in our message, the website, what it's going to be. It's professional, guys. I'm really, like, honestly, it's something that we can be proud of as a community, that we are spending the time to make something that people are going to be proud of. We're not cutting corners. You know what I mean? And it's a labor of love, but it's a labor of passion. And we know that humans, when they feel like they're contributing to something bigger than themselves, do more, right? We know that money isn't the biggest driver. It's passion. And that's what we're doing. Nobody else has the passion like us. So we are making huge progress. Our new goal is probably, because, I mean, we're basically done with the month, right? Obviously I'm taking a vacation off between the December, the Christmas and New Year's, and obviously everyone else is too, you know, and the next week is pretty much the last week that we can do. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. He told me about it. Oh, that's awesome. He told me the idea of it, and I haven't seen it. Hopefully he has a VOD review of it or something I could see. Hi, Heather. And yeah, guys, it's a really cool progress, honestly. Between the website, between the passing that bill, getting that bill passed, the volunteers, the pushing things forward, my personal things with the job updates. So it was a good day. It was a very good day. I felt like very, very good. You gotta kind of like move, you know, gotta stay in the moment a little bit sometimes, and when things are going bad, and kind of just appreciate them when things are going well. So that's what I'm doing. Well, guys, but anyway, all right. Coming up. Oh, we had some zesty drama. Dang. Yeah, Heather. Sorry, I went live at a weird time. YouTube archive. Um, okay, so going into next year, thank you, Hazel. I feel better. I feel a lot better. I slept well last night, went to bed early, um, got up, did great, had a good meeting this morning, had a good nap. Dad napped, of course. It's you have to. If you don't do the dad nap, if you don't dad nap 3 days in a row, they revoke your card. You know, and that's like very awkward. Can't do that. Um, I know Rapture. It feels like it's very weird. It's not good. I know, Heather. The rules. It's not me. It's I just live by them, and those are the things. Yeah. So, all right. So I wanted to go over kind of like as a fun thing. I wanted to go over a video for the guy that I'm going to be debating in January. So the guy that I'm going to be debating, um, I recommended vaccines, and they said no, it's too boring. It's like it's literally like the most controversial subject you could possibly have, and they said no, evolution. And I was like, all right, okay, whatever. And it's just like it was either evolution or flat Earth, and I'm like, I don't know flat Earth stuff. You know what I mean? I don't know that stuff. But I I was an evolution major in my undergrad, so I know something about it, guys. I know something about it. I used evolution in the lab. The idea that you can deny a physical process that just happens over time, I don't understand how people can not get it. I also don't understand how people can think that the world is flat. Um, yeah, you know what? I would rather not be schooled in flat Earth. That's the thing. That's the thing. I don't. That's just like knowing all the conspiracies and stuff. I would rather something. I'm all full. You know what I mean? I'm all full. We're gonna start doing like an epistemology slant too. I'm gonna start learning logic. I think we're gonna do that. Um, yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly, Island. Well, see, that's the thing. So guys, if you didn't know, we're gonna start doing kind of like, I love it. We have like kind of topics that we follow, and we go around the circle on, and one of them I'm very excited about to be adding is philosophy, epistemology, that kind of stuff, and one because I don't understand any of it, and yet I have a doctorate in philosophy. If you can imagine that, I just want to know what I know. How do I know what I know? And it's really cool. So hopefully you guys can help me understand it, because I am a small child, small baby in my philosophical knowledge. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, philosophy and science. Yeah, and this exactly. So all that kind of stuff. So I would rather, yeah. So okay, but I digress. I wanted to go over. So this is the guy that I'm going to be debating, most likely. But we know that it's going to be an evolution debate. So that's going to be it for sure. And silly atheists, aren't they in here? Interesting. I think I've seen. Yeah, I'm debating someone on Modern Day Debate in January. So yeah, Modern Day Debate is like one of the biggest debate platforms in the world. So it's pretty cool. There's Oxford style debating, like Oxford debates, in Oxford. But I mean, the YouTube for Modern Day Debates has like 500,000 subscribers. It's very cool. Hey Mackenzie, what's up? So I was gonna debate this guy. Made by Jim Bob. Debates and comedy. 28,000 subscribers, guys. I don't know. I don't know why YouTube hates me. I genuinely don't know why YouTube hates my content. I love YouTube. I love it, but it hates me. So that's what it is. So I was gonna go through some of his biggest debates, and we can kind of talk about it, and react to it. Okay. Okay. I'm looking for a video. Professor Dave can't defend evolution. Oh, wait, what? This guy, okay, wait, this guy, well, this would be interesting because I reacted to this guy's stuff. Is he debating? I'm actually really interested in this. And I'm scared about this one. Oh my gosh, should DNA PhD gets cooked on evolution? That's, I hope that's not me. Oh gosh. This is by far the worst showings for evolution proponent. There isn't a single person capable of defending the claims that evolution makes. Oh man, I'm so... Thank you, Wildkind. I'm feeling better, and I had a good... I have a... yeah. Oh man. Okay, here we go.
It's a combination of random mutation and selection pressure.
But you actually have to tell me how it works that the Pakicetus through random mutation becomes a whale. Can you do that for me?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
It's a combination of random mutation and selection pressure.
You just simply said random mutation with environment pressure produces this thing. I ask you, how does random mutation actually produce this effect? And you know what your answer was? Random mutation produces the effect.
Yeah. I mean, guys, this is actually a really interesting point. And I need to, he don't know what this guy's PhD is in. And I wonder, like, this is actually someone he contacted. Okay, so let's just go through the videos real quick.
So, Darwinian evolution refers to based on countless.
Okay, this is
they don't like to talk about.
Debate that
Not
he's.
At a popular
So he's reacting to
my body isn't
a presentation that Professor Dave says. Okay, so it's like his presentation on it, which I'm probably gonna have to make. I'm probably gonna have to make an intro slides and intro stuff, and on a yeah, Costco, you've initiated a whole swing in the stream where we are learning all about philosophy. So thank you, bro. You it sparked a whole course of learning for us. I appreciate you. Oh yeah, I've already had it removed 2 other times. People have already removed it for me. I'm actually -2 already. So then you're -1 again. So I'm actually -3 degrees. So it's already been stolen 2 other times. So you're not the first one, unfortunately. That's the things. Yeah. Let's go. Okay, so I would rather have him like be at least talking to someone on it. Evolution destroyed. Evolution call in. Okay, PhD destroyed or DNA. Oh, you're happy to help you with your understanding. Oh no. I would never have you on to learn from you, dude, because you're just a dick. So yeah, you're never gonna be invited on because learning requires failing, and you're just a dick, so I don't want to, you know what I mean? That's just like that's not how it works. You don't really understand how like the learning process works. So why would I ever want to learn from you, about you, anything that you have to say? That's just not how it works, man. Yeah. So, yeah, you don't understand the learning process. So, you can watch though. You can watch us learn about it, and you can be on the sidelines and just kind of like sitting on the chair, and just watching, like how I watching, just kind of like how your dad watches as I ravage your mom. So, you know what I mean? It's you and your family. You just have this watching fetish, and it's okay. You know, it's all right. There's nothing wrong with that. There's some people that are doers and some people that are watchers in the world, and you're just one of the watchers. There you go. Pearl was like, I'm gonna follow that guy. As soon as the mom jokes came, boom. That's what it is. That's what it came. Hi, Kimchi. How's it going? Why are you ravishing people? Can I empirically prove that? Through bank statements, my friend, and your mom's checkbook. That's how they align. All right. What is this guy saying? Is he's critiquing this guy's, because this guy, I reacted to some of these, and then I was so curious what he says about this guy.
That there's no way you're going to find DNA in something like a million-year-old animal, even in permafrost. There's another thing called genetic entropy. Natural selection is blind to most mutations, so they tend to build up over time. Species cannot be billions of years old, let alone millions of years old, or so many mutations would have built up that things would be extinct.
DNA barcoding.
Oh yeah.
What is that, and why do we care?
That's an
There's so much wrong. It's like a supercut of awful ideas all strung together. I don't understand. Like, I'm so curious how he.
interesting question.
Creation talk. Is he like excited to watch this, and is he learning, or is he critiquing? Because this is like a full creation video. Like, this guy's like full blown, and is he self-critiquing? When can we get DNA QR codes? It's basically what you do with the with next generation sequencing. I mean, that is literally what you do, is a QR code basically on it.
DNA is a long.
I need to start making like what do you call that right there? Like a short preview. What is it? The stinger. I need to make stingers for my live stream, but it's all just like really mundane stuff. Like, you add all that music and all those quick shots and those quick pans and
I know we can
edits, but it's all me just being like, this coffee's good. I'm hungry today. Did you guys see the live stream the other day? It's like,
What?
I showered yesterday.
What is going
Long
on?
and fragile molecule. It breaks down in the cell, and it breaks down in the dirt after an organism dies.
This guy doesn't believe in environmental DNA. It breaks down in the cell. They don't think the DNA is going to be inside living organisms. Like, what? I don't get this right so far.
Yeah,
I'm genuinely so confused, guys. We really need to buckle in here.
Biologists claim to have found DNA hundreds, thousands, or even millions of years old. But this contradicts the timeline given in the Bible.
Yeah.
Can these two be reconciled? Dr. Carter, you have a PhD in coral reef ecology and genetics.
This looks like
Wait, who did he say his name?
Dr. Carter,
Dr. Carter. Carter. Okay, sorry guys. We have to, if we find out someone has a PhD, we have to look up their thesis. It's just like, it's mandatory. Carter, creation talks, coral reef ecology, and what was the other thing? Genetics? PhD thesis. Robert Carter. Creation.com. CV. Oh my gosh. Oh, there he is. 2003, University of Miami, marine biology PhD. Oh, guys, you know what this means. Florida, marine biology, bath salts. Dude got a PhD in bath salts, basically. Let's be real. Can I get an accurate DNA profile after a stem cell transplant using my own stem cells? Yeah, because they're not going to change all of your genomes. Your germline is still going to be there. Between my undergraduate and graduate work, I spent 4 years teaching high school. In 96, he was in a Maytag. Okay. 500 research dives on a coral reef. Dude, I got a PhD for freaking going in and hanging out in a swimsuit. Many of these were done at night to study the mass coral spawning events. I spent 2 years obtaining my PhD working on engineering. What? I spent 2 years after. Okay. After leaving Miami, I was hired by the Institute of Creation Research to help with their gene project. While there, I wrote computer programs to analyze human genetic data and managed to get one publication from this work into the secular literature. Oh, man. Oh, see, guys, this is what I'm saying. It's like in 2006, I was hired by Creation Ministries International as a scientist, speaker, and writer. Like, what am I doing? Why do I try? Why do I actually try? Look at this guy. A new look at the old virus. Mutation accumulation in the human H1N1 influenza virus. This mofo out here. Where is his thesis? 2003. Oh, there it is. Cnidarian fluorescent proteins. I mean, he has plenty of things. Comparative biology, fluorescent proteins from aquatic species, U.S. patent. So this must have been his. This was his in marine biology, morphological and fluorescence analysis of the species in Florida. That's actually not bad. I mean, honestly, he's actually published. I mean, this is legit. He's not. What's that one guy that's like doesn't even have a single publication, but now we have to listen to him on everything? Oh gosh, what's his name? He does the horse podcast or something, the Dark Horse podcast. No, it's like Dark Horse podcast. Brett Weinstein. Brett Weinstein has like a 50-page PhD with no actual publications to his name. He's genuinely the grifter of all grifters. Oh man, what? I can't just download this thing? It's not on ProQuest? You have to have a what? Access restricted to faculty, students. What? I mean, this is legit, guys. I mean, tested using chemical extractions and purification of the fluorescent pod counts of tissues. And then cloning the cDNA is responsible for the fluorescent in the different classes, and then sequencing the 2 nuclear fluorescent proteins, including introns. God, that's like, dude, that is like a week of work, and he's like making it an entire chapter. That is so weird. The fluorescent substances were conclusively shown to have proteins related to GFP. Yeah. I mean, this is legit. He's legit, guys. Like, I'm actually like really surprised. you can't pull DNA from fossils. I mean, it matters, Ruben, right? They could be like frozen or something. Hey, Feisty Saws, thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that. It matters, man. It could be preserved. You know, you definitely can find environmental DNA. You know, that is that old for sure, dude, for sure. It's very easy to test. Okay, I'm very, very confused about this guy now. And he literally wrote a publication about how a virus can circulate and stay with the same mutation rates. Influenza viruses and mutation rates. How does he have a fully sequenced genome in here and he doesn't understand how DNA works? Like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm very confused. Okay, well, this is why we look them up. This is why we look them up, guys. And anyway, and by the way, we're not snooping. Any PhD is legitimately gonna want us to do some background into their stuff. You know what I mean? This isn't. It's a sign of an endearment. You know what I mean? For real. So, I would always love if anyone looked up on my dissertation. I would appreciate it. I've spent a lot of time writing it. I liked it. You know, I care about that work. So the fact that he actually did a legit molecular biology PhD makes me very curious about what he's going to say. So, and I've reacted to some of these videos too. So I'm really curious. And then the bottom of the left guy, I'm curious what he's going to say about this guy saying it. So
You have a PhD in coral reef ecology and genetics.
This looks like an Orthothug skit.
And you studied this topic quite a bit. And you actually chose the title of this episode, DNA Can't Be More Than 4,500 Years Old. Why that title?
Wait, is it 4,200 or 4,500? We're already off by 10%. Like, how does that even make sense? Like, I thought it was DNA can't be older than 4,200 years old. Now it's 4,500 years old. It's like the flat earthers are like, must be the same people that are writing down how many like illegals came with Joe Biden. It's like 5 million, 10 million, 15 million, 20. It's like an auctioneer. 10 million, 10 million. Can I get a 12, 12, 12, 12, 15, 15, 15. Can I get an 18, 18, 18, 20, 20 over there, 20 over there. Can I get a going once, going twice, 25, 25. Got 25 million coming over from Trump. Yeah. 25 million, he said in the speech today, guys. It just keeps getting higher. It just keeps, remember it was 10 million like 6 months ago. Amazing. Amazing, guys. Thank you. Thank you. They got it. They have to invent writing things down.
Interesting. I didn't know that position. That now my ears are perked.
Oh, he's learning. Oh no,
It's actually
guys.
multifaceted.
He's actually
title.
learning.
It means multiple different things. There are a lot of things in science that show us that DNA cannot be millions of years old, and Scripture says that DNA is only thousands of years old. So we're talking about DNA breakdown in the cell. How long can a species survive against the withering blast of mutations that all species are picking up?
What?
We're talking about DNA in the ground. How long can DNA last in a cave? Do we really have DNA from a woolly mammoth from 300, 400,000 years ago? Is that really true? We're talking about being able to date something called Y chromosome Adam, the father of all of humanity today, and mitochondrial
Hey, hi,
Eve,
Lauren.
the one mother who's the female ancestor of all humans alive today. How long ago did they live? Well, the science says not that long ago. There's another thing called DNA barcoding, which I'm sure we're going to get into. But just by looking at one particular gene that just mutates at just the right rate, you can separate species. I mean, a huge range of species of
Yeah, it's a 16S ribosomal sequencing. That's what we did. It's like the lock and key of something. It's a very well conserved sequence. And it's basically kind of like a Phillips head. So it's like if you're changing, all of a sudden your locks and your screws aren't going to match the screwdriver that you have. And if that doesn't happen, then something else, it must have been a pretty good jump forward, right? So that's the idea. It's the 16S ribosomal sequencing.
different types of organisms, the species seem to be the same age, as if some giant environmental effect happened at some fairly recent time in the past.
Okay.
And then we have
Thank you, Brezen. $5 for Nashville. Gets me to 44 of the 50, y'all. Let's break that goal.
the biblical date. So when we're talking about if there's dinosaur DNA, those dinosaurs must have died out in the flood.
Okay.
Woolly mammoth DNA has to be after the flood. There's a post-flood animals, and the flood was about 25 or 4,500 years ago.
Oh,
Okay.
So that's
25 for 4,500. Which one is it? Which one is it? How can we? I love that they're just.
where the number comes from. DNA can't be more than 4,500 years old.
Okay.
What?
That's a lot of
That's a whole-
topic.
The flood's 4,500 years ago, so the DNA can't be there. So Adam didn't have DNA, or Adam wasn't what? How does that make any sense?
Whole lot, yes.
Lots to unpack
Oh,
across a number of different fields there. Let's start with your first point.
Okay.
How do we know that all species have to be young based on mutation rates?
One of the primary axioms, in fact, Dr. John Sanford called the primary axiom in evolution, is that mutations happen, but then natural selection can remove those mutations.
Mm-hmm.
Mutations happen, and natural selection removes those mutations. No. Because all mutations aren't the same, and you don't get a change in amino acid from every single nucleotide change. So there's no selective pressure to select against. That doesn't make any sense. Like, it's called a silent mutation. So basically, and this is what the wobble hypothesis is, right? When you look at a codon table, what we're looking at here is he's not off to a good start, guys. I got to be honest. He's not off on a good start. So like this is what this means. So like UUCCC or PRC HI, like these are the different types of nucleotides and stuff, and the Q's and stuff are combinations of the different ones that can be there. So the point is that you can get different combinations of let's see, there you go. You can get different combinations of these. So like AUG is, AUG is the stop codon, but AUA, AUC yields an amino acid. Any of those combinations, right? And the idea is that you can create those different ones. So if you have AUA and AUC, the idea is that if you have that mutation that happens, the entire protein isn't yielded non-functional, right? It's going to make the exact same amino acid, and that is the mechanism that stores the genetic diversity within the genome. Why is your stream so engaging and so late at night? I'm sorry, Rapture. YouTube archive. So this guy's just wrong, man. It's just wrong. That's very frustrating. We'll have to make a show notes here. Docs.new. Yeah. Go to sleep. It's okay, totally okay. Dude, am I running out of disk space? How is that possible? Okay, good. Rapture. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was thinking about streaming. That's one of the reasons why I've been trying to stream earlier, maybe in the day, maybe. But man, it is really tough. Man, it is really tough to get it all going and everything. So it's tough. It is hard. Okay, recycle. Sorry, guys. I was freaking running out of space. Hard drive. I gotta. Oh, nice, Jax. I'm happy. I'm happy about it then. Is this right? Is this right? Is this good? Okay, that one's good. That one's good. Okay, cool. Okay. All right. Yeah, I don't, that's so, the fact that he doesn't know that is very odd. I mean, he's obviously being disingenuous, which is frustrating. But yeah, the idea is that, like, you want to be able to harness the genetic diversity, and that's what we always say, right? We want to make sure that we have, and you've heard this before. The smaller amount of organisms means that there's like a genetic bottleneck effect, and then it can take out the entire population really easily. Why? Well, it's because they don't have the genetic diversity in order to deal with a viral invader or a disease or a change in climate, that kind of thing. So that's the whole idea. That's what it is. So this codon usage table is basically how we can how it's actually stored. Yeah, Ruben. Yeah, it definitely did happen.
But he and I and others have shown very clearly, mathematically, computationally, and even in biology, that natural selection is blind to most mutations. So if you had a spelling error in a book,
Yeah, I mean, he's arguing. No, I don't understand what he's arguing. He's like creating a straw man here.
like a textbook, it's not going to cause you to fail your final exam.
Let me explain what he means by this.
Oh, thank you.
If you have a mutation that happens, there's nothing, because natural selection is how it's viewed, is that the environment will eventually dictate the life, the usefulness, or whatever, the viability of the trait, of the mutation. Because the mutation is just the thing that occurs, but the evolution proponent argues that it's not just the mutation actually follows with some sort of mechanistic advantage or disadvantage that we don't know until after time and nature and the environment has its way with it. But what he's saying is a mutation itself has no connectivity or interaction with the external environment. A mutation itself.
Of course it does. Yeah, I mean that ability, that mutation, if it gives a different amino acid, then it's going to change some protein folding or capability in order to turn on or off, some ability to make more fur or thicker skin or something like that. Of course it can.
No connection. There's no through line. There's no Morse. There's no code. There's no communication. There's no input output. It's just a mutation internally. Those things occur inside you, if anything, right?
Yeah. Okay, man. They're mixing up some terms here. This is really elucidating. Okay. Whew. All right. What is evolution? What is evolution? Evolution is a change of allele frequency over time. That's what it is. So basically, the allele frequency is the that gene that is being turned on or off, or the combination of the genetic factors that create this thing, and it can change over time within the population. So the change in allele frequency means that there's going to be populations within that population, and populations evolve, not individuals. So this is a really important thing. So the change of allele frequency over time within a population. And the alleles are naturally, because of mutations, they're going to drift. And what's going to happen is there's going to be selection pressures to take out half of the population, let's say. And then now this selection is going to go up because this one's going to go down. And that's just basically what evolution is. So evolution just happens as you have genetic mutations that accrue over time. That's just what it is. Those genetic differences in genomes can be from a whole host of different things. You could have viruses. You can have DNA polymerase errors. You could have a whole host of like DNA errors, non-disjunction events, that kind of thing. So yeah, you see it all the time. Hey, Ness. And that's what it is. So, but that thing that makes it change, right? So evolution is the change of allele frequencies over time. That's going to naturally happen. But what does that? How the alleles are selected? Now that's natural selection in nature. So it's two distinctly different mechanisms here. A good example of a change of allele frequencies over time not being from natural selection is actually dogs. So that's human selected, right? So humans selected the allele frequencies that gave new breeds of dogs. And you can see how different the alleles are in, for example, the growth hormone for canines. It's like IGC or something. And it's the growth factor in order, like it's one gene that makes the size of a Great Dane to a Chihuahua. One gene. That's it. And the gene pool for those alleles that's going to create the Great Dane is a completely different allele frequency than the one of Chihuahua, right? And normally they kind of normalize out, and they're not picked like that distinctly inside of natural selection, because there's nothing that's like, you better be 10 times the size in order to survive. You know, that doesn't happen, right? In nature. But in humans, we do. So you can see very clearly that mutations have a big difference and a big change in digs. You like digs? You like digs. So you can see that they make a huge difference, don't they? Don't dog breeds look very different from one another? Yeah. Yep. How else would they be? How else would they be different other than their DNA? How else would they be different? Of course the DNA makes a big difference. Of course the mutations make a difference. So just think about that.
There's no environment going, well, we'll see about that mutation.
But there are humans that do it, right? So like we can see through dog species that could happen. So obviously there can be environmental speciations that happens, right? Speciations from environment. So you can basically have abiotic and biotic speciation events. abiotic is not biological in nature. So we're talking like an island forming, a rift being formed, a canyon. So now you have two distinctly different populations that can't interbreed with one another. Because then the question is, what's a species? Well, species is just a group of organisms that breed together. That's it. It doesn't have to be distinctly the same ones. You can have new species that go into that pool that can also breed with that thing. Different species breed with one another all the time. It happens. So you can have abiotic reasons that species are formed, and then you can also have biotic speciation events. So it's biotic speciation events. That's viruses, bacteria, predator-prey interactions, all those kind of things. So those are distinctly from the biological world. So yes, you do have the environment that selects for the allele frequency that's better capable of living within the world of higher temperatures, for example. So it's very easy. It's very easy to understand, actually.
But if you had many millions of spelling errors, you couldn't possibly pass your final exam.
Yeah.
So any one mutation is almost irrelevant to an organism. Most mutations, some of them are deadly. Those get removed.
Again, diseases happen. A single point mutation in the human genome can lead to diseases that we see today. So it's like, what is he even talking about? They don't get removed. Those single point mutation diseases happen all the time. We have diseases, hereditary diseases from DNA repair errors, and that's what the molecular mechanisms and molecular medicine that David R. Liu is developing, guys. It's so frustrating because it's like the real world and how things actually happen and what science actually is actually way more interesting than whatever story this guy actually believes in his mind is actually happening. That's what's frustrating about this whole thing, is that it's like, dude, if you just like spent and did the hard work of actually understanding this stuff, it's actually more interesting. You can actually kind of like, it's actually way cooler. But, whatever.
Very.
Carpenter, you guys remember Carpenter? He used to jump on a bunch and argue, well, you could just, for the sake of argument, say most mutations mathematically, habitually are neutral. But even Carpenter told me,
they're not. No, mutations are not neutral. They're crucial. That's the whole idea. You have to have mutations within a population. That's how you have a successful breeding population, is that you have lots of different mutations, because you have to have genetic diversity within that population. You have to. So true, Ness. Exactly, call me Bob.
He, having studied much more than me, mentions that no, over time it's actually not neutral. It's not benign. It actually degrades over time, more so.
No. So again, this is so frustrating. So, okay. Mutations, right? If they're deleterious mutations, they accumulate within a population. Absolutely, right? If you have a breeding population that has an error in a book, right? You just removed page 10, for example, all right? And all the manuals that you're referring to don't have page 10. Well, you're losing out on page 10, whatever page 10 is in the book, right? If it's an instruction manual, what if that's like a steering wheel for a car? You're not going to install the steering wheel in your car? Well, this could be a crucial mistake. So what happens is that and this is what inbreeding is. Inbreeding is basically an accumulation of deleterious mutations within the breeding population. And what happens is you need you have immigration into and emigration out. Okay? So you need the immigration of new DNA that's going to fix that error. That's going to fix that. And that's literally what happens. You have homologous recombination that happens, and you would literally see like, oh, this is a piece of DNA that fixes this error in order to actually help with page 10. Now we know how to make that protein now. And guess what? That's a really important protein. So guess what? Those organisms are going to do better within the population. Therefore, they're going to evolve to outbreed everyone else. That's how it works. Except in, like, this is why inbreeding is bad. This is why you see an accumulation of diseases inside of like royal families in Europe, for example, because they're all inbred. Sorry, Ness. She's coming to her phone right now. She's like at a crosswalk. She's like, I'm gonna get. This is so ridiculous every single time. But this is why it actually is bad, right? Because it's like, oh, well, how am I going to fix these errors? Well, you have to fix it. You have to fix it by getting new pieces of DNA, getting new sequences. If you don't do that, then your breeding population is going to go down.
It's never building on something, and it's never demonstrable that it actually builds on something.
What?
Quickly, but most of them don't do very much, but they're still mistakes. And natural selection cannot remove them. So they tend to build up over time.
Okay.
Which means as they're inexorably building up, species should be getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And eventually, there'll be so many mistakes that no species can possibly survive.
Yeah, in an inbreeding population, if you're accumulating deleterious mutations, then yes, that would happen. Yeah. But that's not what happens in the wild, and that's not what's happened in the wild historically, because this is one of the reasons why like species can breed together. You have this thing called hybrid vigor that happens. So hybrid vigor is when two species actually have an hybrid offspring. That's what this is. Outbreeding enhancement. When you literally have a new heterozygote that's made that's like completely different than what they've had, and you're fixing all these errors, and you're like, yo, we did this. Wow, what in the world? You know, it's you're creating genetic diversity when there wasn't any before, and you're fixing some of these errors.
Yes, what's true from what we know is that mutations don't add things. It's not a building block.
Okay, mutations don't add things. Okay, mutations don't add things. Okay, guys, let's do this. Mutations don't add. This is the claim. Mutations do not add things. Okay? Okay. This is a string of 2 codons. Okay? What would this make? Right? This would make and translate into a new, let's say Y. Okay? These would both make Y. The amino acid. It doesn't matter what it is, let's just say it is, right? Now, through a random mutation, this is Y. We only have Y. There's only Ys. There's 2 Ys. That's it. Right? The information we have, we are reading this code. We are producing Y. 2Y. Guess what? Let's change one of these to C. Now we make this X. Before we were making 1, we were making Y. Now we are making X and Y. The amount of information that we are getting out of this code has doubled. You have created information and created something new, 100% more products out of this code with the introduction of a single mutation, and created something completely new. It's very easy to understand, guys. It's very easy to understand. This stuff is real. This is we have this. We see this. This is real. This is every day, bro. This is every day.
It's not like, oh, a mutation happened. Now I get a beak. Wow, I can't wait. Oh, a mutation happened. I'm growing a penis. Celebrate. Yay. Oh, I hope there's a mutation that...
Nobody thinks that. Nobody thinks that. Like, nobody thinks that a single mutation is going to yield all those differences. You know, like, again, this is the straw man argument. He is conflating and intentionally making it reductionary in order to make his point, because he can't actually contend with actually what's going on. Lauren, I mean, they have like a worldview that they're trying to push, and they don't understand. I mean, at some point, I think that it is intentional. This guy actually debates this stuff on purpose. I mean, it's called apologetics. You know, they're not actually learning. They're practicing apologetics, which is basically the idea of I'm learning how to give a retort to an argument without engaging into it, so that I can look good and we can be an apologist for Christianity or whatever like that.
Has a vagina. I really hope so. I'll just wait with Grandpa for 50 million years.
What? Why do you want to debate him? Because it's the modern day debate is like the biggest debate platform in the on the internet that I can have access to. So it's a great opportunity to get myself out there, Ducre. We're on a publicity tour, Ducre. We're trying to get out there. We're trying to talk about safe. We're trying to talk and defend science.
It's degradation. It's degrades. It's like a mutation isn't like a good thing. Oh, we just need more mutations so I can grow fingernails and so I can peel an orange properly.
It's called genetic entropy.
Nice.
And that tells us that species lifespans have a limit. Now, there's no hard limit.
But he just completely made that up. Like, how species lifespans have a limit? Like, what?
And is going to be different for every different type of organism. But species cannot be billions of years old, let alone millions of years old, or so many mutations would have built up that things would be extinct.
Okay, like they wouldn't be able to reproduce or even just function normally.
Yeah.
Before we continue, quick heads up, stick around even eyes. So isn't that an example of evolution?
Well, interestingly, the two examples that you picked are examples of something that's...
Hold on a second.
That there are some mutations that actually benefit an organism. I'm thinking of a polar bear with a broken melanin gene, or even fish in caves that gradually lose eyesight or even eyes. So
no, that's not. No, that's not.
That's literally what it is.
How do you prove that's a mutation?
Isn't that...
These are called pseudogenes. So pseudogenes are genes. Oh man, we are really going through it here today. Pseudogenes have basically accumulated mutations in a open reading frame, which is this thing. This is the promoter is the 5' UTR, the untranslated region. And then the start code on here is the start of a open reading frame. And this is the coding. This will make this particular protein has a coding sequence in order to make the thing, and then the coding sequence afterwards in a prokaryotes, they're all connected. The idea is that you basically have an accumulation of mutations in DNA that makes it so these genes don't turn on. Because you can't, like, think about the genome and the proteins that it creates. MT, we get CEO, guys. Get your game faces on. You know what I mean? Get your game faces on. Don't, be good in chat. Don't embarrass me. What's up, MT? I'm prepping for a evolution debate against this guy. And thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. The idea is that making proteins costs money, right? You can't just, thank you. Nice. Soros bucks, dude. That's sick. Thank you. Making proteins is expensive. You can't just make all the proteins all the time, right? You have to silence some, and the ones that have been silenced in a population when you don't need those genes anymore, they're going to benefit. They are going to win out. Who knows of a species with a pseudogene? Anyone? Can anyone think of a species with a pseudogene? In January. The anti-evolution thing is in January. I'll give you a hint. You're looking at him. I am a Homo sapien, and I have a pseudogene. Yes, Rapture, exactly. What is our pseudogene? Exactly, Ducray. Yes! Exactly. Most mammals make their own vitamin C. Why would we not make our own vitamin C? It's crucial for our immune system. Makes a lot of sense if we're going to have an immune system that you make something that's crucial for the creation of the organism in order to defend itself. Why would humans not make our own vitamin C? That would be insane. My dog makes their own vitamin C. Oh, MT, dude, thank you for the gifts, man. Thank you, bro. My dog makes his own vitamin C. Are dogs more intelligently designed than humans? Are they more advanced than humans? Because they have the ability to make their own vitamin C and humans don't? See you, Lauren. No, it's because humans evolved in a world where they were eating a lot of citrus. They're eating a lot of fruits, right? So the food that we're eating has vitamin C in it. So then why would the humans need to make their own vitamin C? So the humans that didn't make vitamin C endogenously, right? They didn't make it inside of themselves. Endogenously is inside, exogenously is outside. Endogenous inside, that's how you remember it. Endogenous inside, exogenous outside. So we were getting a lot of exogenous vitamin C. We didn't need to make endogenous vitamin C anymore. So our endogenous production of vitamin C stops. Done. That's it. It's so easy to remember. Why would we need to do it? And absolutely his example of a mutation making it so that newts inside of, or salamanders inside of caves don't need eyes anymore is a great example of de-evolution. It absolutely is, because at some point, if you can't see anything, having eyes is just a sore that you could actually, have, a contamination event happen. So absolutely, totally makes sense. Man, it's just so frustrating these guys don't know much. We're going to need an advanced debate warning so we can plan and cheer you on. Discord watch? Yeah, you could. Yeah, call me us. It's going to be on, there's a YouTube. There'll be a YouTube link and everything. Thank you, Communist. I appreciate you. Yeah.
An example of evolution.
Well, interestingly, the two examples that you picked are examples of something that's broken.
You only had one lizard before. Lizard with eye. Mutation make 2. Lizard with eye, lizard no eye. You've created a new way that can be tested to see if it's fit. And natural selection is the one to select which one is the most fit. I am debating this guy in the sleeveless on the left hand side. He's the guy that I'd be debating. He's reacting and like learning from this like creation thing. I don't understand what he's saying.
It's a broken melanin gene that produces the white bear. It's the broken system for producing eyeballs that produces an eyeless fish.
Yeah, but metabolism isn't free. Making proteins isn't free, guys. Come on, man. Like you can't just effortlessly make these expensive proteins everywhere. You know? Come on, man. Come on.
Another example is sickle cell anemia in Central.
So imagine a piece of a car that's broken, and it's like you argue that it's like ultimately great. It's great that it broke.
Africa, a lot of people.
Yeah. If you don't need it, look at race cars, right? Race cars don't have the F1 cars don't have a hood, like a top thing. You know what I mean? But if it's faster and you're selecting for an environment that would make and choose one of those mutations, the deleterious mutations, better, then yeah, that makes complete sense. Again, like it's just they're not engaging with this idea at all.
People carry sickle cell anemia because that trait allows them to survive childhood malarial infections. So it means they're more likely to reach adulthood and have children. Mm-hmm. So yeah, natural selection is selecting for people that can survive to adulthood. Great. But it's a broken gene. In fact, it's a disease that's painful. But it's better to be sick than to be dead when you're talking about, reproducing and having children.
It still doesn't follow, right? It still doesn't follow because guess what? Anything they point to, in that instance, the immunity or the ability to defend against a certain disease from an accidental gene or whatever, something like this, something that's broken, it doesn't follow that evolution, as it's claimed, what it's claiming is true. It has nothing to do with it. In fact, it's kind of pathetic.
Oh.
It's pathetic because
$50 super chat. I don't get it. I don't get it, dude. I don't get it.
Because every instance you point to something that's broken, you're pointing to something that's broken inside a population that you just grant yourself. What? You already granted yourself the bears. You already granted yourself the mosquitoes or the people who
What is he talking about?
Who have something genetic about them that allows them to withstand exposure to a disease or whatever. They're still people. They're still bears. They're still... It has nothing to do with this view that we have a common ancestor, that ultimately everything's back to this nebulous creature called Luca, who is an acronym, a concept. And that
Luca?
From there we all...
What is Luca? What is that? I don't know. It's human evolution. Luca? Is that the last universal common ancestor? Okay. Here I am, just a freaking nerd, knowing the word phylogenetic tree. Sorry. Didn't understand what Luca is. Yeah, I mean, there's a set of mutations. They're not always going to be like one mutation, I mean, we have 20,000 different genes, 100,000 different proteins. And, the whole idea is that some of them have multiple different addresses within our genome. You actually have multiple copies of very important genes. You know, that's, you know, and they have different transcription factors. They have different ways of turning on and off. They have different ways of actually having being silenced through methylation, that kind of stuff. There's tons of different ways that this process can happen. It's not normally just through one mutation. That again, it's another way that things have evolved so that you can hold genetic mutations because they're good. They're good. They're not all deleterious. It's amazing. It's amazing to have, like, it's kind of like a grab bag of all things that are capable, and you just have, like, you can hold a bunch of stuff, and it's better to have them all, you know, you can hold as many as possible, you know.
We all evolved. We all changed and evolved. This is totally irrelevant to the point.
He's not even engaging at all with this.
$50. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that, Chaw.
That is a big super chat!
He says, even as a kid, I found the idea that you'd have some mutation that over time became some new organ. That required consistent but controlled pressure makes no sense. Right, the flashpoint between not an organ and suddenly liver is baffling, yeah. And you notice, Chaw, every time you ask them, again, thank you, W's in the chat for that very generous tip.
Again, that's not what happens. Nobody's claiming this. Like, this is the thing, like, so like, let's just look it up. Like, let's just look it up. Evolution of the liver organ. Wiki. Liver. Organogenesis, or the development of the organs, takes place development, evolution. Development of the liver and gallbladder. Development. Oh, that's like the embryogenesis. Which is, interestingly enough, very similar to how they actually evolved, which is kind of interesting. But that embryogenesis and, like, evolution is kind of is a little bit interesting. Like, you can kind of, like, see semblance, resemblance a little bit of, like, how we've evolved in, like, how we evolve during the embryo stage. What is muscle T guy's handle? It's what do you no, Ness? No, I'm not gonna give you his name. You know what I mean? You're hanging out with me. What do you mean? You're gonna go to his stream now? Jeez, Ness. No. Jeez. I'm jealous, dude. I gotta go turn the freaking sleeveless shirt or something? What's going on? Jeez, man. Gotta roll up my sleeves, man. I gotta roll up my guns. Gotta roll up my no, he's not. No, we're pausing and we're
when you ask them, well, doesn't evolution have to produce this thing called a liver? And we start with a proto-liver. No, you don't.
Why not?
You don't start with a proto-liver.
Why not?
You don't. You have to start with a not that, and then a that. You can't start with a that, or a proto-that. You cheater.
Oh.
Same thing with snakes. I asked some dude, how is it that, from an evolutionary view, from random selection, from natural mutation, you can extrapolate the production line of a rattlesnake's fangs, and independently of the fangs, the sacs, and independently of the sacs, a specific synthesized protein concoction that is venom. You tell me.
Does every wait. Aren't fangs teeth? And there's lots of organisms with teeth. Like, don't you think that this is a little weird? Like how this like is shaped a little like that? He's being so purposely obtuse here. It happens in stages, in developments, and like, I mean, we can just look it up. We can just look it up. Let's check it out. Evolution of snake fangs and venom sacs. Evolution of snake venom. Oh, wow. It's a modified salivary gland. Wow. Oh my gosh, guys. Who else has a salivary gland? That's crazy. Venom in snakes and some lizards is a form of saliva. Whoa. Who's that? Wow. Wow. And it's almost, I wonder, wait, guys, I wonder if there's venom without the fang injection thing. Yeah, there are. There are. Komodo dragons have just saliva that has poison in it. I mean, it's like, come on, dude. While snakes occasionally use their venom in self-defense, this is not to believe to be the strong effect on venom and evolution. The evolution of venom is thought to be responsible for the enormous expansion of snakes across the globe. Like, how it's not wrong. It's not hard to just. The evolutionary history of snake venom is a matter of debate. Historically, snake venom was believed to evolve once. Oh, that's cool. Molecular studies published in the beginning of 2006 suggest that venom originated just once on a putative clade of reptiles called Toxicopharia 170 million years ago. Whoa, part of that, are there... Whoa, there's a semi-aquatic squamates that might be poisonous too? They are, guys... That's the... Wow, that's the monitored dragons that we were just talking about. Guys, we get lucky here. You know what I mean? We get kind of lucky. We throw things out and we get lucky. Oh, wow. They have an actual... Look at this. Look at this. They found an enzyme found in normal tissue that has been adapted to certain snake venoms. So there's like an evolutionary arms race happening. Wow. Like literally, you can like literally, it's really, there's so much stuff. There's real stuff, guys. There's real things happening in the world. Oh, thanks, Boost. Appreciate you, man. Okay. All right, let's go back to here. I just...
Me how random mutation produces individually those three, but also produces a scenario where they all work together. And you know what they say? Well, duh, Jim Bob. I mean, that's the fangs were passed down from a previous thing. Okay, oh, cool. So random mutation had to produce the fangs in the previous thing, right? Yeah, cool. My question's unanswered still. Well, Jim Bob, it's simple. In order for evolution to describe how things have their things, you need to presuppose a previous thing had those things. Wow. Amazing.
No.
You're doing great.
Yeah, the genetic mutations.
$2, sorry, 46 of 50. My muffler broke, dude. Now my car sounds awesome. Yeah. Now you're surviving.
And so it's a kind of an extreme example, but those 3 examples are something that's broken. So yeah, natural selection can work on a few things.
I hope to get poisonous fangs. Yeah, seriously. Or even non-poisonous. It's like, if it's totally accidental, like, what if predators realized that getting bit by a rattlesnake meant you got a B12 injection and actually aided to your survival? And because it aided to your survival, you actually naturally felt inclined to protect the rattlesnake.
What? What?
It was like a
I did not
sacred
follow that
animal
at all.
in your ecosystem.
Things, yeah.
So
I like how they're discovering molecular biology. They're like, what if we just take the genes from the poison and put it into my genome, and I then make my saliva have a poison inside of it? It's like, yeah, dude, welcome to molecular biology. It's just DNA. You can put like insect stuff inside of plant stuff. You can take bacteria stuff and put it into eukaryotes. You can do, welcome. Yay. Welcome, dude. Welcome to what's happening. Welcome. This is, yes, that is what happens. Yes. Yes.
but basically, we see the
Like we evolved to not step on and eat the snake. You badgers, stop eating our B12 snakes.
mutation provides a benefit in a specific environmental context.
In contextualized benefit, but it's not benefit over the long term.
It's not a benefit.
So natural selection is always going to take the shortest, easiest route. If something occurs that allows the organism to survive, it's going, yeah, that thing's going to survive and it's going to multiply, but it doesn't mean it's multiplying because it has a good mutation. It's just something new. And a lot
It isn't necessarily, just because it's something new doesn't mean that it's going to be the best. The allele frequency, right, that we were talking about, the evolution is the change of allele frequencies over time. That base of the allele frequency is just going to be bigger, right? It's just going to be a little bit bigger, or there's going to be 2 distinct, normal distributions, right?
of new traits are broken things. We see that a lot, and that's
misfolded proteins that you have for a heat shock protein could suddenly be the misprimed protein that allows you to survive something else. Yeah. The misfolded protein that makes it so that you have less hair on your body means that you could have just less hair all over your body. Welcome. That's why humans have less hair on our bodies, and yet we still have hair. We're still mammals. We have hair. It's just, I don't get it.
Also, new traits, broken things, it still does not tell us what speciation is. How the view is, there's a species, a population that can produce with itself, and then it produces after a long period of time something that's entirely not itself. Not something.
No. Again, it's something that's very similar. Genetically, it's going to be very similar. A new species, again, you're going to be able to breed with closely related species that match genetically. You have the same amount of chromosomes, for example. You can do it. Oh yeah, I think that he's for sure a Christian. He's a young Earth creationist, I think.
Not something that's a different type of species of that thing. Oh, a different species of this flower. It's the same category, different.
Yeah, this is again. He's making the micro versus macro evolution argument. So again, this is very tired. If you ever hear anyone saying there's micro and then there's macro evolution. Microevolution is just changes, small changes, and then macroevolution is like new species. We haven't seen like new species be made, but we've seen small changes happen in a genome, and that means that they're just strains. They're not actually new, distinctly new things. and that's completely wrong. Hazel, apparently he could be. He could be. There is a, I don't know. There was a lawsuit where they had to settle out of court in order to say that he couldn't actually prove that he wasn't an orangutan. So I don't know. Yeah.
Subspecies or whatever. It's that it becomes an entirely different thing altogether. Another Tuka Trupa chat. This guy's on fire today. I'm evolving to the point out of the evolutionary proponent's inconsistency. Yeah. Tuka, I evolved to deny evolution. Is that an advantage or a disadvantage? I want to know.
Most examples I know of things that are being naturally selected are actually broken genes.
Right, and then if that...
Wait, what?
Things that are being...
Advantage. I want to know.
Most examples I know of things that are being naturally selected are actually broken genes.
Except when they're not. I mean, again, yes, this is how mutations actually make fitness advantages, if that's what it is. Altered, but it's harder to understand, like, how, a misfolded protein could be a new antibiotic or something, but that absolutely happens. That absolutely happens. So, you change the active site on a protein and now it binds to something. So now it can be a new antibiotic against a foreign invader that you wouldn't have had before. And now that allows you to survive an invader in that population that you wouldn't have had before. Nice, Ness. Okay. Dang. Ness gets down. She's partying. Nice, Ness. I like it.
Right, and then if that context is removed...
Brooklyn says, things that survive... Yeah, that's the groundbreaking claim from evolution.
Moved.
Things that survive. How do we know? Because they survive. Look at them. Look at them go. Look at them go. They survived. They evolved to survive. No, they could have been lucky.
Like, for example...
They could have been lucky. Yeah. But we're talking about millions of years. We're talking about billions of years since cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria is 3.8 billion years ago. So, and their generation time is on the span of hours. So yeah, they've lived a long time compared to us. 3 glasses of champagne? Dude, I am like out by 1. I have such a headache with champagne. It's like not even fun. Yeah, Heather, it's so easy, like, for Christians just to be like, evolution is how God made it. Evolution, God created the code, and evolution is just like His word, how it's done. It's like literally so easy. I don't understand why they fight this. That the young Earth creationist stuff is like purposefully obtuse. I mean, I don't know. I mean, one of the big steps for me becoming an atheist was this. Them not, like, I was like, people deny dinosaurs existing? Like, what? Like, are you serious? Like, I loved dinosaurs as a kid. I was like, what? Like, what are you talking about? How does evolution not exist if even teenagers can culture bacteria and they evolve? Yeah, I mean, so Almighty, they basically say that, like, those changes aren't enough in order to make bacteria a new species, for example. So that's what they say. They say that's microevolution. What I'm talking about is macroevolution. So like bacteria to a sponge or something like that. And they have done that microbial experiment, that bacterial experiment. They've done so many generations now. It's wild. It's wild. So they have it.
Like, could have been lucky. 48, we're at 48. Soon you'll hear my
$20 super chat. You just got a $50 one.
wheezing breath.
Example, if malaria disappeared, sickle cell anemia, people who have that mutation would still be suffering the ill effects of sickle cell anemia.
And can we just celebrate the fact that we are supporting Jortlandia without the the crutch of Mr. Jason Cassell.
Huh?
I mean, that's a big deal. You know, when the big kahuna leaves and goes.
Almighty, that is such a great question. I love, dude, the fact that mammals evolved on land, and then actually there was a niche large enough that they went back to the ocean and evolved there, which is just wild to me. And then also that evolution in science has enough predictive power that we actually went to, like, I think it was like the west coast of India, and they were like, this is the, if whales, you know, the precursor to aquatic mammals would have evolved here, and then they actually did it. They found it right there. It's crazy. I mean, it's just so cool.
And he has things to do. Jortlandia still maintains its sovereignty.
And now there's no way, if hypothetically.
Evolution is breaking, yeah. By that logic, evolution is simply breaking toward function. Breaking
Hey, Busy, what's up, dude?
toward function. Wild, dude. Imagine
Another $20 super chat. And that this is October 2025, so that Charlie Kirk thing is new.
engineering firm taking that position. Hey, Jim Bob, you're a new engineer at this firm. You have any ideas of how to increase the functionality and the usefulness and the streamline of our products? Yeah, I have a great idea. Have you guys considered introducing something that causes accidental breaking of the thing we're building?
Isn't that what Elon Musk literally did with Doge? They were like, what if we just like deleted entire portions of our government and we didn't need them anymore? And he is like the genius of our time. Isn't that literally what he tried to do? And that isn't that like it just shows that he hasn't actually tried to do anything hard or different. Like literally when you come in as a new employee somewhere, you are literally coming in and being like, what is this and why do we do this? And it's a good, I mean, genuinely, when you come in to a new organization, it's a good opportunity for them to be self-critical and to learn, and for you as a new employee to kind of like add to the process to make it better. Because and you can make a big difference that way, like legitimately. You can make a big difference in how the organizations run. If you're just like, hey, what's this? Why is it this? You can just like, you know, do this differently. And I think that this whole process would be a lot streamlined. And they're like, wow, that is a good point. You know, if they're actually self-critical and they actually want to do it.
There's this thing called biomimicry where we engineer based on nature. And so what I see in nature is that there's this accidental breaking of the system that actually degrades the system. So I think we should take that approach.
Another $20 super chat? Oh yeah, I'm having like getting lightheaded here.
You're fired. You're dumb.
Likely everybody had it, there would be no way to remove it, and so it would represent a downward movement, not evolution.
Yes. So
what happened? Why is
the appearance of mutations is not proof of evolution. Most often not, it goes in the wrong direction for evolution.
Mm-hmm.
And but those
what? I'm sorry, I don't understand.
So the appearance of mutations is not proof of evolution.
More mutations changes the allele frequency, so it does. It literally does. Evolution is the change of allele frequencies over time.
Most often not, it goes in the wrong direction for evolution.
Again, it's so frustrating because they conflate evolution with natural selection so often, and it's like really frustrating, but I try.
Mm-hmm.
And
they're all like, so it's like, what did they mean to say? What is wrong thing that they were actually trying to say? how are they actually correct, and then how to piecemeal it back to their original claim that was wrong in the first place. And you're like, okay.
But those are the extreme ones. What about all the more subtle mutations, the things that really don't have a profound effect on survival and reproduction?
Those are the most important ones. That is actually where the genetic diversity within the population comes. Those are the crucial genetics. That is the meat. That is the meat of it. Because otherwise, if you didn't have those, then everyone had the exact same genome. Would that be good or bad? Bad. Bad. Very bad. You'd have genetic clones. That'd be very bad. That'd be very bad. Oh my God.
You mean 90% of all things that you call mutations?
But it's still
It's okay. Okay, I don't think that that's true, but okay, sure.
just a slight step down. Then the next one's a slight step down. And when you accumulate millions upon millions of those, you're genetically in trouble.
Got it. Okay, so
Okay, and then you have millions of those.
Slight step down. Then the next one's a
All things that you call mutations.
but it's still just a slight step down. Then the next one's a slight step down. And when you accumulate millions upon millions of those, you're genetically in trouble.
got it. Okay, so
What?
For instance, mutations that are incompatible with whatever the previous one is. Like, you notice how, from the evolutionary view, all the mutations that they think exist that produce something advantageous all have a sort of directionality to it.
No. I mean, theoretically, you could have a 1 in a billion thing, a DNA polymerase error, and then you have another 1 in a billion thing to change it right back. It's going to happen because you actually have genetic drift. That's literally the genetic drift is that is literally what it is. The allele frequency doesn't just stay static. The distribution curve, it kind of changes and mutates as the mutations accrue. That's what genetic drift is, guys. Oh man. Genetic drift, also known as random genetic drift or allelic drift. Hey, we've been using those words. I get lucky, guys. We just get lucky. We just throw out words. You know what I mean? Is the change in the frequency of an existing gene variant the allele? Hey, we've been talking about that. In a population due to random chance. Wow. Look at that. Allele. Allele is a variant of the sequence of nucleotides at a particular location or locus on a DNA molecule. And you can have multiple locations in the genome. So, isn't that fun too? Okay, Darwin. Okay, Busy. You can be wrong on that one too. That's fine. Yeah, there's no such thing as macroevolution. So there is only evolution. So that's fine. We're watching the video and you can follow along. You can stay and learn about that one too. When few copies of the allele exist, the effect of genetic drift is more notable, and when many copies exist, the effect is less notable. Wow. So then you have more important things having more copies so that your entire population can't get taken out by entire, like, 1 or 2 mutations.
We don't see the conflicting ones ever. You know?
We do.
You don't even see the advantage ones. You don't even see it. You can't track it back. What you do is you see a trait that something has, and then you go, well, it must have mutated. That's what you say. You say it must have mutated because look at it. It's in the genetic thing. It's in the genetic code. It had a tail. What? Randy West, $5. God bless. JB, good luck in Nashville. Thank you so much.
So that's the topic of genetic.
He was in DebateCon. It was that's something that I missed, guys. I'm frustrated. I should have gone. I wish I could have gone. It's Nashville is the debate world like championship things. Yeah, I wish I could have gone. busy. I'm an evolutionary biologist. I got my undergrad in it, so I literally do scrutinize it. That's the whole thing. CNS, how's it going? Oh, we're doing this guy right now. I'm going to debate this guy on the left here, so we're covering his videos.
Entropy in a nutshell. Obviously, there's a lot more that we can talk about.
We could do a whole hour session.
It's like guys. The process is evolution, change of sometime in January, the change of allele frequency over time. It doesn't matter. Made by Jim Bob. It doesn't matter. Notice the definition. The change of allele frequency over time. Do I say the change of allele frequency over one generation or the change of allele frequency over 1 billion years? No. It's the same process, right? The process to walk one step is the same process to walk a marathon. That's not a novel definition. That is literally that is the actual academic definition of evolution. I'm telling you what it is. That's not me thinking of it. That is the actual. You don't do I wouldn't say generations, because you can have horizontal gene transfer. So yeah, that's not correct. You can have horizontal gene transfer through bacteria, and they can go through evolution that without new generations happening. So, doesn't necessarily have to be vertical generations. So yeah, exactly. Ducray, we human brain things. I was trying to teach my microbiology class this. I'm like, don't think as humans. Think as millions. If you are millions of each other. And you could change and evolve just by picking up DNA, and living in a community of microbes, that it's really hard for us to get out of this idea of like the only way to inherit new genes is through mating and through vertical transmission, when there's a whole world of bacteria that use environmental DNA. And they'll just pick up random things off the ground, and they'll just be like, environmental DNA. Let's see what this protein does. Does it help me? No. Bad. Okay. So, yeah. If I were bacteria, but you have to think about that stuff like that. And the problem is, we are so human brained. We can't get out of it. Hey, Jennifer. What are some notable genes that microbes have assimilated through environmental DNA? Everything all the time. So what happens is like they'll have different things, different genes that encode for a whole host of different antibiotic resistances or something like that, where when something is lysed, when DNA is given to the environment, they'll basically run that program to see if they actually have a better way of living, like a greater fitness advantage from it. So, yeah, it's a huge part of microbial evolution, and it's at the communities specifically too. So it happens all the time. Environmental DNA is everywhere, dude. It's everywhere. It's a huge thing. Because what if like your homie that just died has the antibiotic resistance that you need? What if that's the upgrade that you need? And then within that millions of organisms, you'd have, a couple of them that were able to take that stuff up, and then you would have them go and, have a greater fitness, and then they're going to take over the entire population.
Just on that, but
yeah, let's talk about ancient
mutation rates. Now, it's interesting. Obviously, this guy's not going to get any real play because, this channel is Creation Ministries. So, the Evo people who are deeply atheists are just going to laugh at this guy. But
we're not going to laugh. We're going to react, pause, and laugh. Okay? How dare he be so crass? And oh yeah, and Ducray, you can actually get through bacteriophages, you can actually introduce new DNA that way too. So there's actually, it's not just environmental DNA. You can actually, through viruses, you could actually change DNA as well. It's pretty cool. With horizontal gene transfer, if it could be passed on after, yeah, it could pass on. Yeah, it could. Yeah, if you're successful and you start dividing, with that new DNA, you have a plasmid or something, then yeah, you could yeah, absolutely, it could be, you could take it with you, or if it's that beneficial, there could be a double-stranded break in that plasmid DNA, and it could integrate into your genomic DNA, and then now it's even easier to pass on. And if it's that crucial in the environment, then the bacteria that have that double-stranded break and have integrated into their genomes are going to have a fitness advantage versus the ones that just have it as a plasmid. Or if the antibiotic in this case, in our example, if it comes and goes, there's a lot of variation, then maybe I don't need to integrate it into my genome, and I can just add plasmid. Maybe that's nice because sometimes I lose it, sometimes I get it, sometimes I pick it up off the ground, and sometimes I don't. So it's so cool, man. Microbial evolution is unbelievable. Yeah.
What's happening now is that this guy who takes a very strict position on young existence, young Earth, young biology, young everything, he's talking about DNA and he's talking about rate of mutation, and he's arguing that would need to be super fast, in fact. And people have been on this for a while. The evolution proponents are actually trying to make it last longer. They're adding time. They've been adding time this whole time.
Oh, dang. I love it. We're doing the Trump illegal immigrant thing. We're just adding on time. To add another billion years. I think that there was some new stuff that came out that there was another 100,000 years or something. It's relatively really small. Compared, it's come on. Oh, cool, Ducray. Yeah, you can take one online and stuff. They have cool ones online.
More time they need more time. Well, another way of saying that is it needs to happen faster. That's the other way of saying it needs more time.
What are you talking about?
It needs to happen faster. So now they're taking the latter approach. And people like the Jolly Heretic are now arguing that, well, it does happen really fast. Well, because they need it to happen really fast. Otherwise, they need more time.
It does happen really fast. These guys are arguing for a 6,000-year-old Earth, and they're criticizing evolution for happening too quick. I'm so confused. Oh, nice, Ducray. Cool.
So instead of more time, they're going the other direction now and saying, well, no, we don't need more time. We just need it to happen faster.
Ancient DNA and how that relates to this topic.
The sheer presence of DNA that's claimed to be hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years old, argues against the hundreds of thousands to millions of years.
Okay.
DNA breaks down very quickly. It's attacked.
DNA is remarkably stable at room temperature. Everyone knows this. At a crime scene, what are they doing? They're swabbing for DNA. It's very stable. RNA, yes, that it's going to degrade. Yes. DNA, very stable at room temperature. Guys, I leave a lot of my primers for my PCR and stuff. The ones that you use all the time, you run it out of it faster than you need it. So a lot of times I'll just leave my plasmids or stuff just out on the desk overnight for weeks, for months. I've left primer sets out on my desk for 6 months. And those are 20, 30 base pairs. Plasmids and stuff, that's going to be, you could have that stable for, how long would that be? Probably years, decades? How long is DNA stable at room temperature? months to years if kept dry, clean, and free of enzymes. You can add TE, tris, like these buffers and stuff, and it's even stable even longer.
By oxygen, it's attacked by water. It can form knots and snap. It's attacked by all sorts of things. I mean, bacteria and fungi would eat DNA.
Oh,
and so
God.
we find.
Yes, they have DNAs. Yes, they have DNAs. Yes, they do have enzymes that can do it. I don't know what Boost, dude. This guy looks like a spam account. Seems like a bot. Seems like a big bot. Body bot. Anyway, whatever. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it's been rained on, and oxygen's probably there. If not, it's still water present.
Not even DNA. Like, you just go with the basic things that they argue existed. They're like,
All right, real quick. Boost, what's up, man?
Hey, brother, how you doing?
Good. What's up?
Good. I appreciate you out here trying to do a good thing.
Thank you.
And as a man from a man, and we just try to do the best we can with the information we got. And I guess, and I have been through this struggle quite a long time, but you just got to ask the basic question. Like, if you were a mechanic and you could just send somebody's car down the road, and they would never need any fixes, would you give them that fix? Or would you give them a fix that would guarantee that they come back for this, that, alternators, tires, and because we got to be honest with ourselves. These are businessmen. We're talking about billionaire companies, and it's not too often that we see the actual, what's good for business, what makes their shareholders money, usually trumps what's good for the people.
Are you talking about pharmaceutical companies?
Well, if Pfizer could give something that made all their customers super healthy, they would go out of business.
No.
That's
not true, dude.
Or and let's just be devil's advocate. Like, if they could say, well, maybe we could get a little bit more money in turbo cancer or this or that or this. Any reoccurring health issues makes them money, right?
Who pays bills?
No, just do you
No,
can you agree with me on that?
No, I don't agree with you. What? So,
you don't think
no.
They're shareholders' interest and making money does not trump anything.
It's no. Dude, no, it's
okay.
People,
really?
Listen.
I think you're fighting yourself. Let me just say one thing. Hang on.
You just said one thing, and I'm going to respond to your thing. So,
yep. Go ahead.
Live, living people pay bills. So Pfizer wants people to live so that they can continue being built. So they want healthy people. They want people to actually get better. If the person just dies, are they going to be able to charge them for any products in the future? No.
Well, if you're aware of people that have a straw man and that each person has a secret account that people can collect on when they die, they actually can make money off of people dying. We've heard about straw man. We've heard about the corporate fiction and some of that stuff. There's quite a bit of truth to that.
What? What are you talking about? Secret?
Yeah,
secret? What are you talking about? Secret?
Are you not familiar with common law? Are you familiar that when you get a bill or your birth certificates and you're all all capitals, okay? This is your name, and all capitals is different. It's your corporate fiction, okay? So and off of that corporate fiction, they have all kinds of money. Like right now, if I could actually look your numbers up and show you that you have millions and millions of dollars under your corporate fiction that you would never know about, but that can be cashed on upon your death. This is an eye opener, dude. I'm not your normal person. I come with love. I love everybody. I've talked over. I do nothing but put myself in danger to help people. I'm not here to try to pull the I genuinely love people. But what I say is true. It's called your corporate fiction or your straw man.
No.
Okay.
No, it doesn't make any sense.
What do you mean no?
It doesn't make any sense.
I mean, prove me wrong. Show me where that's not true. Look up. You have a computer there. Look up.
Prove to me that you're a real person.
Look up your corporate fiction. What's that?
Prove to me that you're a real person.
Let me tell you something, Greg. Greg, it takes 30 IQ points to have a change of heart. Do you understand? So, to be able to have a change of heart on a subject, I'm going to tell you, I don't have that. About Trump.
Okay.
I know you don't. I know it takes a lot, but I'm going to tell you, I was wrong about Trump.
Okay.
You tell me somebody that could say they were wrong about Biden or wrong about anything, but that takes a real man.
Amazing.
And what I'm asking you to do is say, you know what? I might be misled. But if you are directing people to the basic common sense, and I'm going to just put it like this. Do you know Mike Yedon? Yeadon? Mike Yedon is the number one, or was the number one researcher, drug designer in the world. Guess who he worked for? He was the vice president for Pfizer for 16 years. Okay.
Okay. He's an anti-vaccine activist in the UK now.
What's that?
Mike Yedon is a British anti-vaccine advocate and retired pharmacologist who attracted media attention in 2020. Been making false and unfounded claims about the pandemic.
Okay, now there's where you get misinformation. False and misleading. Let me tell you that. He was the number one researcher, drug designer, worked for Pfizer 16 years. Do we agree on that?
No.
Can we agree on that?
No, because we know who that is, and that's not his name. It's not Carrico.
You just read it.
No, I'm telling you, I know the molecular biologist that actually developed it, and he didn't do it.
No, Mike Yedon was Pfizer's vice president for 16 years.
Okay. I don't care if he's the CEO. Okay, he's served as vice president of Pfizer's allergy and respiration unit.
Yeah.
Okay. So?
Okay, so somebody that worked for Pfizer for 16 years is going to come out, and from a drug designer, producer, he said when he looked at how the whole jab was designed, he said almost every aspect was designed to harm and make people infertile.
And he's wrong. He has no idea what he's talking about. It doesn't matter.
Oh, right. Okay, so he's a Pfizer's own vice president for 16 years, doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, correct.
That's what you're going to tell me.
Correct.
Okay, that's a pretty, or maybe because it's funny because drug companies make money from this, but the whistleblowers, they only risk their lives, their jobs.
That's not true. That's not true at all. No, they redo their entire careers and they grift and they make a lot of money off of it. They make way more money than they would have.
How being losing his job and being smeared? How do you make money off that?
What are you talking about? They're international celebrities now. What are you talking about? You have people like Robert Malone that were failed businessmen that were now the creator of the vaccine, the mRNA vaccine. He has no idea what he's talking about. He has no idea what he's talking about. But now he's actually on panels and the ACIP panels and stuff like that. Now he's making millions of dollars. Like, what are you talking about? This is called grifting. This is grifting.
The book. How is he gonna? He's not getting any money from the drug companies like Elizabeth Warren.
Because they have. What are you talking about? Because they huck ivermectin prescriptions and stuff like that. They have supplement money that they make.
You think that ivermectin is paying them?
It's bunk, dude. It doesn't do anything for COVID. It doesn't.
But that's another one. Robert Malone, actual.
He is not the inventor. He is not. He has no. He is not. No, it's not. He has no idea. No, he's not. He isn't.
Robert Malone doesn't know anything about mRNA. Is that what you're gonna tell me?
His research from it was 1989. Do you think that our vaccine technology hasn't been improved since 1989?
But is he not the original designer of mRNA?
No.
Who is?
No, he's not.
Who is?
What?
Because I know that people have said he is.
No, he's not.
Lots of people have said he is.
He isn't.
Robert Malone.
He's transfected. He's transfected some mice with RNA through liposomes, and that was an interesting thing that he did do. But then there's like around 500 different people that all had thousands of publications that got them from what he did to there. It's like saying that the person that designed the 1970s Toyota Corolla is the person that was the inventor of the F1 car of today. It doesn't make any sense. You just don't know. I'm a molecular biologist, bro. I've done this for a living for 16 years. Like that's what I am. And he was doing his master's when he was getting his MD and in Scripps, which is right by where I live, by the way. And he completely lied about this nonsense, and he had a failed career. And now again, so now he's touting himself as this expert, making all this money off of this nonsense.
So I mean, but people do say that he is an authority on mRNA. Is he not?
He's wrong. I don't care what they say. I'm telling you, as someone in the field, nobody knew about Robert Malone until this point. If Robert Malone was that big of a big guy, then you would see that. You just don't. I'm sorry. That's just what the reality is.
I wonder why I've been told that he was the actual creator of
because
mRNA.
People lie. People lie during the pandemic, and they took it for a huge advantage for them to retool their entire career and to show that they are something that they're not.
Right. So I mean, yeah, and of course I mentioned before, but we have the 2-year investigation by our own House, the House Senate, that looked over 1 million pieces of paper. And that when they said there was misinformation and that there was information that was suppressed and that there was Harvard doctors that were silenced, okay, the misinformation they talked about was not from people like Robert Malone.
It is.
It was not
it
from.
is.
I mean,
yeah.
No. Then why did they? I mean, have you read the House?
It's almost like the entire pandemic was politicized, and people actually took it for an advantage in order to get some ideological wins, as opposed to being patriotic and actually caring about Americans that were perishing from the pandemic and looking out for one another. And this is one of the reasons why we did so poorly on the pandemic response. We're ranked like 200th in the world in terms of deaths per capita. So it's been awful.
Well, and you know what? And I guarantee I have a better explanation why those deaths occurred than you.
Okay,
you go first.
Here we go. Go ahead.
Yep, let's do it. But no, before that, Greg, and I don't want to. I love you as a person and a brother, man to man, and I don't want to challenge you like that. I'm not here to challenge you or make you look bad. I'm just here for truth and honesty. You have a lot of people that care in the comments. You have people that care about other people. What I put up on the screen there is the New World Order agenda that's been around for 20, 30 years. And in 2011, there was a paper that Bill Gates said that he would do depopulation.
No, he's not.
Through
no, he didn't. No, that's completely false. We've watched. We watched. Dude, we watched. Stop. We watched the. Dude, you this stuff like works with anyone else because people like don't read into these things and they don't look at the original documents. But here we actually do a lot of reading. We go to the original sources and we learn about this stuff, and we watch the entire TED Talk, and he's not talking about that. He's talking about reducing the carbon emission, the carbon footprint of what they're doing. And you can watch the TED Talk about it. It's from 2011.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched.
He's right. He's right on that. He's right. Bill Gates, Bill Gates
I don't know if you
explicitly
can.
said that he would use vaccines.
No,
to
he did
lower,
not. No, he
human
did not. We've
population.
watched. I've
You
watched
could
the
pull up
TED
that.
Talk. I've watched the TED
I
Talk, dude.
watched it too.
No,
I
you
watched
didn't.
it several
No, you
times.
didn't.
I got it
I'm a
word for
greatest.
word.
No, he's talking
said
about
that.
no, he's talking about carbon emissions at that point. He says it in a really inopportune time, and he's talking about reducing it, and he's not the population. He's not trying to reduce the population. How would the vaccine does not reduce or cause any harm? It doesn't.
So, Greg, okay, so I've watched that video so many times. I could probably recite to you what he said. He said, we're about to reach 9 billion people on this planet. And if we could lower that number, and he said by using vaccines. He explicitly said we
yes,
could
he's
lower
talking
that
about
number
reducing the
by
carbon
using
footprint.
vaccines.
Yes, he's
He's
yes.
talking about lowering the population.
No.
How would you use vaccines to lower CO2? How would you use vaccines to lower CO2?
It's
I mean,
in the
you're a
context.
microbiologist,
It's in the context of that. That's what he's talking about. He's trying.
You could pull up that video.
Because there's a lot of
I guarantee
material.
you that's what he says.
Because, dude, you guys don't understand that viruses cause disease, and there's a lot of energy and supplies and medicines that are needed if someone actually has, a case of the measles, for example, versus just a $100 vaccine that requires a lot less materials in order to make. So this carbon footprint of the health and the hospital and all the resources and the energy in that is a lot more carbon footprint than just the vaccine.
That's not what he said.
That's literally what he's saying. That is literally what he's saying.
You could pull up the tape.
The other guy got a misinformation.
But I guarantee
that's literally what it is. And you just asked me for me to do it, and I just told you. Why don't you engage with what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I am engaging in what you're saying.
No, you're not.
But that's not what Bill Gates said.
Why don't you engage with what I said? Don't you think? Okay, factually of the matter, do you see why vaccines would be less of a carbon footprint than treating a disease?
No, I don't see that.
Okay, then that's just I'm sorry, you're wrong, dude. I mean, we just don't have time, guys. We don't have time. I want to go through this video, and we're not. You have to think about. I'm sorry. If you can't engage in something, dude. If you can't engage in something like that philosophically, then like, what are we doing, bro? What are we doing? Your mic sounds so awful. I don't really want to engage with talking to you right now. So you gotta to get a. No, you didn't. No, you're not engaging, bro. You gotta get a mic. You gotta figure out your sound scenario. It sounds awful. So.
Well, we found all of the components for life in space.
And you got a guess
so
warning.
Therefore, the process could
Andy,
exist.
I had to remove you anyway, bro, because you just got a misinformation warning. How did you guys both get it flagged so quickly? Yeah. So.
Like James Torre eloquently stated this, that these building blocks...
Lucy, he got a misinformation warning. They both got misinformation warnings. Chill.
Whether it's DNA, RNA, complex carbs, and whatnot, even if you granted their composition somehow miraculously fused together into some functional entity, the exposure to heat, water, changes in temperature from high to low, changes in pressure, all
changes from high to low. Like, what are you talking about? They like literally DNA goes from body temperature 98 degrees Fahrenheit. It's not gonna decompose when the temperature goes down. Like, what? It's not gonna. It would only denature if it goes even higher, right? So holy moly. Okay, you cited your sources, but you can't just say you're citing sources. That's not what a source is, dude.
All sorts of things are not aiding to its survival at all. In fact, it's the complete opposite. More time is death. More time is death. You don't just add time. Well, enough time. No. With a very minimal amount of time, these things are gone.
Ice crystals destroy DNA. And so we find...
No, Afon, it's wild, dude. I honestly am so happy when we encounter these misinformation, like these claims, I'm so happy we go and actually just read about it, because it's just, I'm telling, like, how many times do we have to say it, guys? Reading, the most important skill you could possibly have. It is wild. It gives you a superpower and allows you to have the knowledge that someone is lying instantly. It really is wild. And on top of that, why is Bill Gates the arbiter of truth, and he is the somehow the supreme king that every single like government in the world is always going to march to the lockstep of Bill Gates? How insane is that? Come on. They're going to independently source and verify all the claims from all the vaccine manufacturers. Like, just think about it critically, man. Jeez.
Find the oldest supposed organism with DNA that's intact is found in the polar regions, in cold areas. We don't really find much in Africa where it's hot.
Okay.
Yes. Keeping something colder is going to make it store longer. Yes.
And that's because cold preserves DNA.
Because cold preserves it, but only to a limit. It doesn't last forever. Now, you can probably ask me next, well, how long does it last?
Yeah.
I anticipate that, right? Is that what you're
Oh,
going to say?
wow. Great question.
It lasts as long as I can scream goal.
We don't necessarily...
He thinks that the DNA is spontaneously degenerating. It's just going to spontaneously poof? Like, what? Hazel, I think that's a really good point too. It's about comprehension too. I think, but hey, you know what? At some point you read enough that I think you're going to comprehend something.
Necessarily no. We can measure in the short term. So the oldest DNA that's claimed to be found is...
I don't know if this is controversial, but Taco isn't great at debate. Well, I think that's why he's running a debate channel. So he's not really the debater, but I agree with you.
Over a million years
Who's
old.
Taco? Man, we're so out of it, guys. We're out of the loop. I want to get in these circles, these debate circles. Got to get in there. We got to get in there, guys. Yeah. No, I think he's Ducre. It's someone else that's running. It's like some creator or something.
They pull it out of an organism, sequence them. It's only little pieces. They're not sequencing entire genomes, but they're able to pull out pieces of DNA, sequence them, say, okay, this is what the woolly...
What's a good argument against the existence of dinosaurs? Well, I wouldn't just simply take that position. I would say that if you agree that you're just describing larger animals that existed, then fine. You can, if you want to call it a dinosaur, fine. But the problem, Ilias, is that the narrative of dinosaurs is very modern provenance history. And so...
yeah, and he was talking about carbon footprints. You know, and it's just like, it's wild. It's so crazy to me. And it's anyway, it's crazy.
You know, the conception of a dinosaur existed before, quote, finding one. So a variety of attacks on dinosaurs and the narrative of dinosaurs is one that almost every quote dinosaur thing you see is a construction.
This is my favorite part. It's like the what was the guy we talked to? They thought that every single like every bone that's ever been created was just like, they just thought about it and they were just like, oh, we'll just like make a bone that's like does this, and then that's what the bone is. They don't think that there ever actually was oh, Lo, you're amazing. Thank you. What's it called? Taco Talks. Oh, man. Here we go. You're awesome, Lo. Thank you. Oh my God, he's so brave, dude. Bro, wait a second. Guys. He's being hated for being Christian. Wait. He's Christian in the United States? This guy's Christian in the United States of America. Wow. Brave.
To the internet, if you pick a side, there are many evil people who will slander you with lies. It wasn't pretty, but you get the point. But if you're hated because you're making Christian content,
Being hated for Christ. Being hated for, Christ.
and specifically like actual Christian content, none of the fake Christian garbage.
Oh, damn, real Christians. Yeah, dude. You know, everyone's really Jesuit around here. All the, you got to say it, you know, damn, real Christians, you know, damn, this guy, he's going to be talking about throwing down against the Republican Party, that they're not Jesuit enough. They're not following the teachings of Jesus Christ of Nazareth. They're doing the lawless thing. That's not what Jesus said. They're supporting rich people, which is explicitly not allowed in the Bible. Abortion never mentioned, by the way, but except for actually a recipe in order to have a miscarriage, by the way. What is the I'd love to hear. Okay, so what is he persecuted about?
But like if you're actually preaching the gospel and people hate you for doing that, Jesus is very clear that those who are hated for his name, which he says just plainly, you will be hated for my name's sake, but that they should feel blessed. Peter even reiterated the exact same concept in one of his epistles.
Wow.
So if you do stuff
Epistles? Is that what it says?
online, if you do Christian content online and you have a lot of people hating you a lot of the time, good. That means you're doing something right. Just make sure that you're consistently preaching the gospel, that all humans are absolutely evil. But despite how evil we are, God loved us so much that he literally died in our place.
Damn. Deep. That's deep. Damn. That's deep. Never heard that one before.
That God made him who knew no sin to be sin for us, that we might become the righteousness of God in him. That God was the substitute, that he literally took our sins, he bore them upon himself, and then he died in our place so that we can live. If you
With the kingdom of heaven.
trust him and him alone, then he gives you that free gift of grace. He gives you that undeserved mercy. And all you
that undeserved mercy, you dirty sinner, always a sinning.
you have to do is trust.
Why would anyone live a life like this? I don't understand. Like, at some point, you're just like, is it really a party in heaven if you can't leave? Have you ever thought about that? An eternal party that you can't ever leave? It's a little weird, man. It's a little weird. At some time, I would kind of like want to have my own chance to say no.
Him. And if you say something that clear, that simple, and that beautiful, you're going to have so many people hate you so desperately. That's because the demons in them hate the God that lives in you. Repent and trust in Christ. God bless. Welcome to the...
Wow.
Is that what you expected this to be? Repent and trust in Christ alone.
What? What the meth? What's going on? What? Guys.
Is that what you expected this to be? Repent and trust in Christ alone.
All right, guys. I hope he finds the help that he needs. I hope he finds the help that he needs. Something's not right. Something's not right. I hope everything's okay. I don't get it. I don't. He has 1 million likes and 100,000 followers, guys. Oh, it's the old millennial dude. Oh my god, it's a 4-minute video.
Oh, it must have been a professional shooter because that's not a hard shot.
Okay. Okay, so this is all about the Kirk stuff. Okay. They're not gonna do it. Stop, guys, stop. Oh, he explains black people?
Guys, can we stop with this? Oh, it must have been a professional shooter because that's not a.
Dude, he's like, what filter is he doing? What's the name? Taco __. Which one are you seeing? 5-minute? What's it say? Oh, nice. Coyotes. I love packs of coyotes. They're so cool. Explains Islam? Ty, did you see it? Where did you see it? Oh, you're muted. Yeah, I don't see it. Scroll back. Oh, explains black people. Oh, there it is. What?
Talking about black people. Specifically, we're going to be talking about what Mormonism and Darwinian evolution teaches and has taught about black people. Let's get into it. As a disclaimer, this video is going to contain things that are very disgusting, so proceed at your own risk.
I don't know if I want to watch this 5-minute. Do you want to watch this with here? Do you want to? You're muted, by the way. Do you want to? Oh my god.
I find it so interesting when folks want to explain us as if, you know, we're just so different from the rest of the world and society that we have to be explained by.
Do I like even have my picture on here? Do I like hide my camera? Do I hide my camera for doing this section? Like, is this like Oh my gosh. All right.
I
7 minutes. A
would
7 minute video. Only if you're gonna be here 5 minutes. I'm not gonna do this alone.
let's go.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. We're doing it. All right. Here we go. You say pause. Okay. It's your it's your show. You say pause. I'm already shocked. I got nothing.
Okay. Well, it takes a lot to shock me. So.
Okay. All right.
And as a further disclaimer, most Mormons today are not taught this. So don't assume that Mormons are just racist or anything like that. This is something that was taught by their church that most Mormons are not going to be aware of, but that's why I'm going to give you the specific citations. That way, you're capable of seeing that I'm not lying and that this is actually what they taught and actually what they secretly do officially believe as doctrine.
Okay. So this is okay. So it's a Mormon video.
A little bit more biblical.
So it's like, isn't it? So from what I understand is that they think that like Jesus came to the United States after he did the whole Middle East thing, and he comes over and basically like creates people of different colors so that God can more easily distinguish them or something like that. I think that that's what the Mormons believe. I think that that's it.
So basically, he created people to be in what, servitude?
Yeah, and they had to be separate colors so they were more easily seen. I think that that was the idea.
Well,
I think that that's what he's gonna say. I think that that's that's what it is. But this is like that Mormon slant thing. I thought it was it's still very offensive, obviously.
After the fall, we see that Adam and Eve had Cain and Abel, 2 sons. Cain unalived his brother Abel. As a result of this, God was going to punish him. Now, the punishment for committing that act of unaliving someone is for yourself to be put to death and unalived. Cain...
Real quick, I mean, this guy with the filter, the green, is he going for like a Neo look, like from the Matrix, like like the hieroglyphics on his shirt? It's like it all looks like the Neo. He's like cosplaying the Neo.
Well,
the filter's wild.
Designer, he's failing.
Okay, good. Here you go.
Did not want this to happen. Cain was scared, and Cain asked God, saying like, hey, if you banish me from this place, then whoever finds me is going to unalive me for what I've done. So God tells Cain, okay, I'm going to put a mark on you. That way, anyone who sees you will know not to touch you and not to harm you. Otherwise, they're going to suffer your penalty, your payment, your punishment. They're going to suffer that which you deserve 7 times over if they take your life. And so as a result of that, Cain did not get unalived for his transgression. Cain lived his life miserably, failing in almost everything that he did. So what was that mark? We don't know. We have no idea what that was. But we know what the Mormons teach it was. See, Brigham Young's the second highest prophet of Mormonism, on March 8th of 1863 said, and I quote, "The Lord put a mark upon Cain, which was the flat nose and black skin." That quote can be found in the Journal of Discourse, Volume 10, page 110. So they teach that the mark of Cain was that Cain was turned into the first black person. It gets worse. See, Mormons believe in something called a pre-existence, which is where Elohim, their fake god, is having sex with all of his different goddess wives to create humans. And so
is he like a fake? He's like an ex-Mormon that's like dishing on Christianity, that's telling you the truth. The hashtags are wild. Evolution's actual teachings. According to Darwin.
I'm still on the dark skin, flat nose.
That's awful.
What makes one?
It's insane. I love the hashtag black people.
I won't make the chat suffer. I won't make you suffer. I find it interesting. I'm just waiting for him to go into the whole servitude and why we were not allowed in Mormonism, even though we fought for it and
Mm-hmm.
walked across the country and protected them. And once they settled,
Mm-hmm.
we were not allowed to, we were allowed to be in the religion, but we were not allowed to, be ministers or have anything to do with the business side of the church. Yet we fought for it,
Yeah,
Some
exactly.
owned, some freed as we walked across the country. So it's all very interesting. I just know my grandmother told me, my grandmother was like, Southern Baptist founded our church.
Mm-hmm.
Church did not start until she got her ice water. Okay. But I just remember her saying to us, now y'all free to do whatever you want, but don't you go into that Mormonism, because they make all of your ancestors follow them. And if you turn me into a Mormon, God help me, I'm coming
Yeah,
back.
because it's posthumous.
Like,
It's after the fact, and you're like, that's so rude, dude. That's so rude to be like, yeah,
so
yeah.
wrong.
That's
Yeah.
crazy, man.
And it is. It was like one of the teachings that I just will never forget that. Like, how are you just gonna flip somebody and they're not
Yeah.
even here to?
Like, I don't even believe in souls and stuff, and I still think that that's rude. I still think that that's like, that's still
It's
kind of
wrong.
like, dude, like what? Like, I mean, that's obviously not their intention. That's like, I feel like that's so crass, and yeah, I don't know.
It sounds though a lot like phrenology, and even in sickle cell, it was very much studying those things to try to figure out how can you keep certain people in a place of servitude via science, and not just what, you know the whole idea that if you are in the Lord's favor, i.e., being a monarch, right? If you're in his favor, the monarch is the representative of God. He then blesses you. So, Dr. G, I like you. I bless you. You get a whole bunch of castles and horses, couple chicks,
Today, we're going to be talking about Black people. Specifically, we're going to be talking
Sorry,
about
I
what
didn't mean to.
Mormonism and
No, I didn't want to heart it. I'm sorry. I wanted to go back and follow him so I could like react to his videos. I'm sorry.
The whole social Darwinism.
Yeah.
But I mean, honestly, in theory, the idea was if you were white teeth, you were blessed. And if you were of a monarch, and sent to go find new lands and populate or whatever, you were blessed by God, because you were blessed by the king or the queen to risk your life to go take land from other people. And when they got to certain places and certain people just fell off because of, germs, viruses, they thought that that was further proof that they were superior. And then they got to Africa. Oops. And malaria didn't play that way. So it's all very, it's interesting once you get into it. Trying to find a scientific basis for us to stay in a place of servitude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming up 5 minutes. I appreciate you. Hi, Brian. How's it going, man?
Bye-bye.
Thanks for coming up. I appreciate you. Thank you for everything that you do, and thanks for your perspective. I always appreciate you.
Well, thank you for having me, and y'all have a good night.
All right, have a good one. Bye. All right, guys, we're going to try to finish out this video. It's taking extremely long. They keep saying wrong thing. If they just said a right thing, I wouldn't have to pause every 10 seconds and look up the Wikipedia, and it would be a lot easier. The show notes is growing by the minute. It's about, I think we have like 20 links right now. It is wild. It's wild, dude. Why are people so wrong? Okay, here we go. Back. No boost. No. Bad boost. It's exactly Rapture. Exactly. It's so easy just to say, yeah. It's so easy to say this. I gotta finish this video, bro. And you already had your shot and you got the misinformation flag, so I don't want to get my thing shut down. I already got a hammer dropped on me on last week. So yeah, sorry, bro. It's not. I honestly wish it was the other way and we could just talk about things without having to worry about that. But it is what it is. It sucks.
From an incomplete idea. So it's like.
Oh, thank you. I thank you for saying that, Boost. That was a really appreciate you. Thank you.
Constructed. Also, any kind of view of what dinosaurs were, how they existed, how they looked, is also completely constructed. So it's like arbitrary. It's like looking at something that
Bruce,
looks like a chicken.
I'm not even saying no. Like, I'm not even banning you. You're not even muted. Like, you're not even like. What are you talking about, bro? Like, you just got a misinformation flag. So like, I'm sorry, but what do you want me to do? Well, I'm not gonna risk my entire channel for you, bro.
But it's bigger, and then assuming that there's this type of existence that, you know, how it looked and how it sounded, and they craft this entire storyline through entertainment and, narrative to get you to think of the term dinosaur in a very specific way. And so the counter is, why do we grant the way in which you're interpreting what you call a dinosaur? Why would we grant that? So much of it is fabricated. It doesn't follow that like large animals didn't exist, and large animals exist right now. The question is, the narrative of what they're calling a dinosaur is wild. It's a wild tale. It's just
what? I wonder how many like species and things he thinks didn't exist. I mean, like a young Earth creationist has to think that everything that's ever existed already exists, right? Because like, why would God make something that would go extinct? Because then God would fail that in that way, wouldn't they? So like, God has to be like, what happened to the dodo bird, passenger pigeon? You know what I mean? Like, what was that? Not were they not good enough?
It's a modern conception. And civilization, according to their view, goes back so far in writing and documentation, even rudimentary documentation of things, all the way to like cave drawings. It just seems interesting that, you know, from their perspective, you can find dinosaurs at the surface, you know, old large things at the surface. And yet the conception of a dinosaur is new. Like all of the civilizations that existed from their timeline, not one of them conceived of a dinosaur.
What?
I mean, the closest thing you have historically within sort of a documented civilization is a dragon, which ironically, the atheist naturalist laughs at, even though it's totally possible of a type of dragon that exists from an evolutionary view. It's kind of fascinating when they pick and choose what kind of animals could exist and what kind don't.
Wait, when did the concept of dinosaurs first discovered? When did humans first discover dinosaurs? 1677. Dinosaur fossils have been found for centuries, or dragon bones in China, but the first scientific description of dinosaur bone was by Robert Plot in England in 1677, though he thought it belonged to a giant. The term dinosauria in true understanding came later, with Sir Richard Owen coming in 1842. Okay, cool. Interesting. That is kind of new. Interesting. Because, I mean, they just have giant bones, so I guess that makes sense that they just thought they were giant or whatever.
It's pretty funny.
Hazel, that's a great question. Did they actually? Because yes, they do. They have to, right? Because it overlaps. That's what the time period it does overlap.
A hippopotamus skeleton is perfect to illustrate that most scientists wouldn't know what a dinosaur looked like, even if they had time traveled and ate them. Yeah, that
A hippopotamus skeleton. But we knew hippopotamuses weren't dinosaurs before genetics or any. We already did know that, bro. We did know that. What?
I always bring this up, Snagglebeast. Let's say an animal died that had the anatomy of a hippopotamus, but let's say they didn't know hippopotamus existed. Maybe they were extinct. They didn't know when or how. It just, you found something.
Yeah.
But the reason for extinction is like, you know, they could have luckily survived. You know, they don't know that what a hippopotamus is, right?
Okay.
So a group of people find the bones, and then they invent this conception of an ancient thing that was giant. But little do they know, across the world, someone finds the exact same thing and they just know it's a hippopotamus. They're separated, though. So the question ends up being, how do you know anything you found is this thing, you know, especially from the evolutionary view, that preceded, it's an ancestor of this other thing that's big and looks the same, it looks similar. Or it's just something that died out and you found it. It just could have, luckily, it just could have survived. It's not a descendant. It's not an ancestor. I mean, it just died out. It could have lived just as much alongside of everything else today. It just died.
Oh, thanks, Rapture. It's great seeing you. Dude, Phil, bro, I don't know if I could debate this guy. I don't even know. I'm having a hard time understanding his, like, where he's going. Like legitimately, guys. I don't know. I'm like, what is he talking about, bro? Let's say we have a hippopotamus that was in one part of the world, but then there's another hippopotamus on the other side of the world. And how do you know that they're not the same, or if they're different, or if they just died out? What? Genuinely, dude. Like, what are you talking about? I don't get what you're talking about at all. I am so confused. It's the ramble. It's just rambling. He's just rambling. He's just saying words.
Column Rock, bring up the skull of a hippo.
You know what's so frustrating, dude? You know what's so frustrating is that he thinks that, like, scientists just ramble too, that we have no idea what we're talking about either. And he's exactly, Heather. That's exactly what I was talking about. That he's blowing his mind. He is just like saying words as they come to. This is a free thought, free association exercise in his brain, right? And he is just like, he's synthesizing something new in his brain. Doesn't make any sense. He's not referring to anything, but he's just like, let's just go with things. And that's how he thinks science does it. Oh, it's so tough, dude.
Oh, and tell me what you think the animal would look like if you don't know already. Interesting. That's a fun thing.
Oh my God, Sunrun. That's amazing. Stream of conspiraciness. No, that's so good.
Thing to do right now. Let's give it a shot.
What is he doing?
Hippo skull. Yeah. It's funny.
Yeah, exactly 5 minutes. I don't know what he was talking about there. He's like, what if the same thing existed on another continent? How would you know that that weren't related? And you're like, well, they would be if they had similar morphology, but even still, guys, you could have the exact same morphology, and what happens is that there's these things called cryptic species. Cryptic species, man. Cryptic species look exactly like other species, but what happens is that they breed with one another. So they're distinctly breeding. So again, what is a species? A group and a population that breeds amongst themselves. So cryptic species have the exact same look as another species, right? But they don't breed with them. They use the look of the other species as an advantage, and then they only breed amongst themselves. So like for example, like dragonflies do this a lot. Like insects happens a lot with insects. They'll have like, you know, the regular species will have like a round phallus, and then the cryptic species will have like a square phallus. So it's like literally impossible in order to breed with one another, but they'll look exactly the same. And before genetics, it was really hard to figure out when there was a cryptic species or not. And when we were just doing morphology, guess what? A lot of these things got in, right? A lot of these things got in. And but now with genetics, guys, wow, we figure out like, wow, these have completely different 16S ribosomal sequencing, so we know that they're completely different species. And
It's the skull of a hippo.
No, his thing is like, if we found a hippo bone with dinosaurs, how would we know that the hippo wasn't dinosaurs? That's his question.
Yeah, I mean, look at that.
Wouldn't we think that's a dinosaur?
I was just working off that, and my imagination kicked in. Let's say I didn't know what a hippo was. My imagination.
He thinks that's how science works.
Draw on paper, even with crayons. How far I could take my imagination with this. That's
not how science works.
I mean, if we didn't know what a hippo was, if they just happened to die out further back than the reality we're in, these people would be like, it's a giant capybara.
Idiots! What a bunch of idiots!
What are your thoughts on dogs evolving from wolves? I wouldn't say it's an evolution. It's a category of a kind of dog. So it's like, if taxonomy is ultimately arbitrary, then a wolf is in the same type of category as a dog anyway. So it's like saying, like, what are your thoughts on dogs evolving from dogs? And be like, well, that would not be the term used then. It would just be a type of large category of canine that has a bunch of subcategories that are still in the category. They never leave the category.
God, he just knows so little about it. It's wild. It's crazy that he literally does this as
I think they would call it. So that's how I would push back on that. Did they evolve, or was it just domestication?
Oh my gosh,
did man? How often, even with food, if you think about the mustard seed,
yeah,
how
exactly,
much comes from the same thing, like the common ancestor, so to speak, for a multiplicity of vegetables and things we consume that come from mustard, a mustard plant. It's wild when you think about it. You're like, whoa, that's a lot of things. But none of it ever leaves the category. So
this is the
it's
micro
more
versus
reasonable
macro
to look
evolution
at
thing.
things as if they have their own sourced ontology, that there's a moment they come into existence as they are what they are, and from there could be subcategories that don't ever leave the category of what they come from, but they change in these superficial ways ultimately, but they're still categorized under the branch. But to try to say that everything comes from this thing would be to say that there's a mechanism that shifts one thing outside of the category that preceded it. Well, is that a new category then?
Again, guys, individuals don't evolve, populations do. I mean, this is like very simple. This is very simple. Oh my gosh. It's very simple, guys. Populations evolve, not individuals.
Then it's endless regress. You know what I mean? Think of it visually. Here's the beginning of a category. Well, from the evolutionary view, that doesn't exist because that thing is not truly a beginning of a category. That's a branch, a splinter off from another big category, and so on. So they're just in an endless state of doing fractal categorizations, fractal taxonomy.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You're like, when does one category begin and one end? I don't know. You know what I mean?
16S sequencing. It can be hard to distinguish. Yeah.
Tell me when. I don't know. It just does over time, sometime.
Hi, Harmony.
It never changes. It never skips its full category. It's always in a subcategory. But that's their biggest problem, is that in order to say there's such a thing as a category inside of which subcategories could exist, canine, wolf, dog, whatever it is, mustard, all the rest of the plants, they have to hold that one of those categories is itself unchanging and universal. But they can't. They have to tell me that the category itself, the particular thing they're pointing to.
Yeah, he's saying, 5 minutes. He's saying that one species can't, that there can't be a new thing, like squares can't make circles. That's what he's thinking. But it's like he doesn't understand how evolution works, so he doesn't understand that it happens at the population level, not at the individual. So that's the problem. Guys, evolution, population, natural selection, individual. If there's one thing that you take from me, think of that. Evolution happens at the population. Natural selection happens at the individual. The animal is fighting for its life individually, right? From the predator.
Is also a super subcategory and just never ends.
Yeah, that's the fun of it.
My grandpa was a retardigrade. Is that an ice bear or a water bear? Is that what a retardigrade is? Anyway, can you imagine how great the world would be if humans didn't start incessantly trying to disprove the Bible? Well, it's a spiritual issue.
Hey, is there ever been a time in history where people just never questioned the Bible and we just like let them rule and didn't think critically about anything and just let them rule over us and like called them like kings and queens? Yeah, I mean, surely that would have been a really good time in human history if that ever happened. Surely, like, there could have been, nothing but prosperity and, oh, wait 1 second. I'm getting that in. I'm just learning right now that that's not the case, and it was the Dark Ages, actually. That's when theology had the most impact on our lives. I'm sorry. Sorry, I got that one totally wrong, guys. I always mix it up. Sorry.
Spiritual. Evolution has to say we're still in the category of fish. They do, Orthobro. It's hilarious. They also have to say something. Got to shout.
We have to say that we're in still the same category of fish. Yeah, we're vertebrates. Vertebra. We have vertebra. Like, like what's that? I like how this is the guy on the left is the guy in the short sleeves. I'm gonna be debating him in January. Bye, Harmony.
Shout out to.
I know. I don't even. Hey, you know what? I take offense to that because you know what? I do clown drag instead of fish drag. So you know what? I take offense to that. Let's just say, okay. I don't fish. All right. I'm not. I don't put me in that category.
Who gave me this, which I'm gonna use forever. They have to say that George Floyd is an ape. George Floyd is an ape. Hello, Emmanuel.
Racist as fuck, dude. Jesus.
I have a friend in Bulgaria believes in evolution. Can you give me some content for anti-evolution catechesis? I mean, watch some of my debates. I mean, ask him basic things, Emmanuel. Try this on him. You know, when you get a beer, when you grab a beer with him next time, okay, buddy? You know, kind of elbow him and go, hey, I'm really interested in evolution.
Can you walk me? What would his thing be? Walk me through how you think we evolved from fish. That has to be it, right?
Can you tell me that how random mutation produced a liver? Hyper.
Why is he made this exam? I have to look up the evolution of the liver. When did the liver evolve? It's invertebrates. Okay, so it is invertebrates. It's exclusively invertebrates. That's interesting. How in the world do you get from vertebra? I guess it's like with the vertebra you get the central nervous, the CNS, and the peripheral nervous system. So with that, then it comes to so I guess vertebrates then have like interesting. So it's like, okay, so it's the blood. So as soon as you have the vertebral column, it kind of like introduces this whole thing where now you need a cleansing agent in order to deal with that. How did random mutation before or after blood? It's just a load of crap. So really he's asking about the evolution of vertebra. Yeah, chordata. That's what I thought. Is a bilaterian. Oh. Bilaterian. Wow, that's interesting. So like bilaterian. Oh, okay, that makes sense. So it's like sponges and stuff can also be bilateral. Yeah, that'd be my question. Like, what would be the non-chordate bilaterians? Huh. Interesting.
Specialized function. Can you tell me how that happened?
Idiot.
You know,
Dude,
you
can
gotta
tell
press
me-
him on these things.
I like how, but it's he's unfazed with like, who created God? That's like, duh, we know that one so well, dude. Like, don't even. It's so simple. That is like the easiest question. You know, like the guy doesn't even understand like the most simple of evolutionary processes, and anything that he doesn't know is like, I mean, obviously this makes no sense, but the dude can't even. But the dude like has enough plausible deniability on huge gaps in his own knowledge. But it doesn't matter, man. It doesn't matter. That you got to have faith, bro.
Things. Go granular. That's my advice. Go granular. Don't
see
go.
Exactly. Go granular. If they can't explain every link and chain in the process, you got them. You got them. Isn't that crazy? But any type of granularity on God of the gaps or any type of like how God evolved, God existed before time or all that kind of stuff. No. I got that. Because nobody else knows that, right? So they're more confident. That's how they win these things. They're just so confident. People like just don't know these answers, so it's like they're like, seems like you're very confident in what you say.
Don't go vague. Low resolution. Go high resolution. High resolution.
Oh my
and
gosh.
also ask him if George Floyd was an ape.
Dude,
it's a good tactic. I like to use.
The mammoth
Jesus,
or the ancient
so
horse
racist,
or the cave
dude.
bear,
What
because
an
their
awful
DNA
person.
is what their genome might have been like. But we don't know how old that stuff really is. And based on DNA decay rates, there shouldn't be any DNA there. So you're probably wondering, how do we measure the DNA decay rate? Well, we actually
what's the
can't.
rate?
We can measure it in the
What?
short term in the laboratory, but how do you extrapolate that to hundreds of thousands of years? So the one study that I know of that tried to do this, they used ancient moa bones from New Zealand.
Yeah.
They carbon dated the moa bones.
Big bird, right?
Yeah, giant bird. They carbon dated the bones, and then they measured all the pieces of DNA that were in the bones and how long they were. And they had a decay curve of how fast DNA breaks down over time. Okay, based on that, there's no way you're going to find DNA in something like a 1,000,000-year-old animal, even in permafrost.
Okay.
You definitely never find it in like a dinosaur.
Okay.
Because they supposedly died out 65 million years ago. There's no way there's DNA there, but there's biochemical evidence of DNA. There's microscopic evidence of DNA in dinosaurs.
This dude on the left thought that like literally it decomposed in like a minute, and this guy's like, he's talking about tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of years. Sorry,
Is
Island.
it possible for aliens to exist?
Oh my god, dude. No way.
I mean, I don't think so.
It's not possible?
Because to say aliens exist
possible?
is to assume something about cosmology, that we can travel through this thing called space. I don't even believe that. I think we're in a closed system, Harry. So
He's a flat earther. So space is fake. He thinks space is fake. This is what I'm saying, guys. People always ask me, why would I ask this? Why would I? This one right here. This is it. This is the list, guys. This is it. Space fake. Right there. Space fake. That's it. He thinks that space is fake. We're in a closed system. We can't even leave the Earth, bro. Like, Oh my gosh.
So I don't think aliens, like, let's say hypothetically, we're in a closed space and there's some space outside of this space. Aliens would no longer be called aliens. All you'd be doing is expanding the nature of reality to include this new space, but it's not a new space. It already existed. So
oh my
if
gosh,
aliens
dude.
exist, there's no need to call them aliens
They're
unless
our
you're just
homies.
referring to a type of animal or creature that doesn't live locally with us. If that's the meaning of alien, the question of what is this existence
Oh my
is
gosh.
assumed. You have to assume what is this existence. So to
What
say
the
aliens, you're
hell?
assuming the existence is this existence, and there's local existence, but there's also a satellite existence out there. I don't believe there's a satellite existence out there. I
Oh
don't
my
believe that.
gosh. Just
I
wild,
think we're
dude.
bound and locked in. This is a created system, closed. There's not. I don't believe in a multiplicity of life systems. Joe Suarez, $5. Regardless, even if you granted aliens or some sort of invented creature that visits and has some intentionality or whatever, they're still bound by the same. You'd still have to tag them. For instance, if I met an alien and it was super intelligent, I would still run tag on them. JB, have you ever thought about playing politically themed games on stream, such as BioShock? It would definitely tune into your critiquing the themes. Is that a politically game? I don't know. I'll check that out. I play shoot 'em games. I like shooting, and I like shooting people. I like using a sniper rifle to shoot people in the head. BioShock.
Psycho.
I'll check it out.
Psycho, dude. Jeez, this guy is not mentally well, bro.
Is that the kind of game where you're kind of playing passively and hanging out, but like the board is like complex and it's not like an action game where you're running around, shooting people?
This
I'll
guy's
check it
psycho.
We don't have sequence data yet because the pieces, I mean, that stuff, if the dinosaurs died in Noah's flood, that's 4,500 years old. That's really, really, really old for DNA. It should be almost all broken down, but there's some left.
So the guy's like, wait a second. So it's 4,500 years old that this happened, which is soon enough that there's DNA that should be there. But he thinks that DNA vaporizes nearly instantly. So that means that the DNA that is there is way shorter than 4,500 years, and like within the last day.
Left in some cases, there are.
Yeah, 5 minutes. I'm gonna be debating this guy in January, so I need to I just wanted to be familiar with his arguments.
I know of at least two.
See, this argument, I'm not sure this is the greatest argument because it assumes that you have full knowledge of other variables that could preserve DNA for a longer period of time. So I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm going to play the naturalist, atheist card here. Say, well, even if we granted that, it still wouldn't follow that there aren't other conditions in which DNA could be preserved if you granted quadrillion billion years existence.
What?
You know what I mean? That's what they would say.
What?
You know what I mean?
The guy on the left.
It's a shooty game.
The guy on the left with no sleeves.
And it's all about libertarian failure. Nice. That's fun. I could go in there and troll libertarians. Is it online where you can talk to people?
Groups.
Right, good idea.
Oh, so he's one of those white Christian nationalist guys that hates the libertarian crowd. He thinks they're too feckless and soft. Oh my gosh, dude! I love how these guys think that they're so brave and like, wow, man, you're a Christian in the United States, dude. Like, whoa, dude, you're so brave. You're so persecuted. You're so persecuted, dude.
Nice. I'll get it. Of course, I'll get it right now. I'll start a stream right now. Speaking of, it's 1. I have a call at. I'm gonna get out of here at 2. I think. Eat some lunch. Sort some things out in my life.
Chasing dinosaur DNA. Someone's going to do it eventually. It's just difficult because when you pull a dinosaur bone out of the dirt, it's full of modern bacteria and modern fungi, and the amount of DNA from those organisms way overwhelms the little bit of trace amounts of ancient DNA.
I wonder if what you can do.
So, are you saying that we could get Jurassic Park soon? Because I would like to go to that.
Man, I would too, but no, we're not. It's not going to happen.
Okay.
But they didn't exist. How would you do Jurassic Park if they didn't exist?
Is a team in Japan that's working on cloning a woolly mammoth.
Dude just like heard Japan and went on another racist scree.
And they've got millions of dollars and they're working on it and they're making some progress, but they're not actually going to clone the mammoth because the mammoth genome is broken down. It's in pieces. You can't just take the DNA out of a mammoth cell and stick it into an
Xbox? No, I would. Any game I'm going to play with you guys is going to be on the PC. I know there's a crossover thing where you can play your Xbox games on the PC. I still haven't figured it out.
5 more minutes, thank God.
On Steam.
I mean that literally.
Elephant egg cell, say, and make it a mammoth. So what they're going to do is they know the genome of the mammoths. Okay. That's the gene for the hairiness. That's the one that makes the big tusks. This gene might affect the funny shape of their head. They're going to genetically engineer an elephant with those traits.
Battlefield 6, it looked pretty good. I tried it out for a bit. Obviously, the best players are in there right now.
I don't pick the debate partner, man. I just said, hey, I'm a scientist looking to debate, and I just told them all the subjects that I could debate, and they recommended this guy when I said they said vaccines are too boring. They don't want to do that. So their audience would either want me to do flat Earth or evolution, and I'd much rather do this. Did you see Planet Peterson debate him? No, Aiden. I'm just finding out about him now, so I didn't realize that. Is he debated Made by Jim Bob? All right. Okay, Lo. Bye. Oh, this is DebateCon. Oh, this is what you're talking about. Is it the debating flat Earth? Does naturalism? Okay. Yeah, this is it, guys. Modern day debates. 243,000 subscribers. But we'll put that on there. We got to put it on there. Save. Man.
Just kind of get annihilated.
Yeah.
I'm still practicing on Battlefield 5, which I still like a lot. But I'll grab 6 in October.
Thank you,
Maybe do an evening stream with it.
Traits, and then try to
play Grounded 2 with us. That's funny. I tried that. That's when you're a tiny person in the grass. I could see how I can get hooked on that. I didn't let myself get hooked on that. Trying to send some masculine energy toward the goal. Thank you so much. Thank you for your woman masculine energy. And all of you men in the chat should be ashamed of how much the female financially participates and supports here at Jortlandia. I mean, it's questionable. It's getting to questionable levels. Thank you, Abbyzon.
Thank you.
To put that egg
Dude,
into a female elephant
like barely
and have
into
her
this.
give birth to what looks like a woolly mammoth.
What? Gifting suspended for 10 minutes in this live. Reason, limited interaction. What?
4? I didn't try 4 yet. I should try 4 too. I mean, I like 5. I like the gameplay. It's a little silly. There's some silly movements sometimes with the players and stuff, and sometimes I get kicked off the server mid game.
Got it. That's
But you can't do that with dinosaurs. See, woolly mammoth is an elephant. So you can change the elephant DNA to make it look more like a woolly mammoth. What's like a dinosaur?
What?
Nothing.
Chickens. Like, literally, birds are dinosaurs, technically. What's like a dinosaur? Nothing. Oh, I mean, there you go. I didn't realize that there were just one and n equals 1. Are birds dinosaurs? Yes, birds are dinosaurs. Wow. I don't know. I don't know. Everyone try to gift now. Let's see. Everyone. I probably let the video play for too long without pausing. Yeah, birds are dinosaurs. Like,
there's no comparable species that you.
Well, they say a bird and a chicken, right?
Oh,
They say
shoot.
both. They're like, well, a dinosaur. The other thing about dinosaurs, it's wild to think that from their view, a dinosaur had to evolve to be a dinosaur. So you're still stuck in, well, what's a dinosaur before a dinosaur then? They say chicken? Yes. Is the chicken also a result of the dinosaur? Yes. So what came first, the chicken or the dinosaur?
oh my gosh.
Well, it's both, Jim Bob. The chicken is clearly a dinosaur.
3 more minutes on this guy.
Look at the T-Rex. Okay. So then did all these big animals evolve from not big animals?
Did the Great Dane evolve from, or was chosen from other dogs that weren't the size of a Great Dane? Are there wolves out there that are the size of a Great Dane?
Yes? No?
You can manipulate to resurrect a dinosaur, so it's not actually going to happen. But someday,
Joe Gagin. God bless Joe Gagin. He finally left the bear cult.
Oh my
we're going to have
gosh.
dinosaur DNA. It's just a
Say the crocodile's a dinosaur? Yeah. Did it come from not a crocodile? Well, yeah, duh, Jim Bob. It came from a chicken dial. It came from a croco-chicken.
technical question of
This
who's
guy's not even. This guy's not even 20 minutes in. He is like just.
Came from something. It came from
Spiraling.
an ostrich, yeah.
first, and what's the best specimen to use. It's going to happen, but that dinosaur DNA will contradict the age of the bones.
okay.
Now,
Well, yeah. Because the bones are fossilized. So yeah, you would. That would be the expected outcome.
said a minute ago that they use carbon dating to date the Moa bones.
That's right, yeah. And I know that we have a lot of materials here at CMI about carbon dating.
A lot of things. In fact, in my article, How Carbon Dating...
Oh my god, and we know there's a lot of problems with carbon dating. Oh my gosh.
On creation.com, I have a chart.
You got creation.com? I tried to get that years ago. You're the one who beat me to that? I was going to sell that for $1 billion, bucko. I wonder how much you could sell creation.com for right now. We're all landwells, obviously. Smells more like a crock of shit, yeah.
Of how as you go further back in time, the carbon dates start leaving the historical dates. The carbon dates are older than the historical dates. And I suspect that the closer to the flood you get, the more they diverge from reality.
And we're talking about historical dates of things
Artifacts.
that artifacts that we can pretty reliably verify.
Yeah, the
were
destruction layer at Jericho or a pharaoh's sarcophagus. In fact, the Willard Libby, who invented carbon dating, he validated his technique on Egyptian coffins. And he said, it's the strangest thing. The oldest coffins that I'm using diverge more from the expected date than the younger ones.
Okay.
And
so
there's more. I really think that the closer to the flood you get, you're going to get an escalation of the carbon dates. Because, well, there's some carbon-14 in dinosaur bones. A little bit.
Yeah.
Well, that's telling us that there's a little bit of carbon-14 before the flood. There's a lot more now. Because as Earth's magnetic field collapses, as we see, as all sorts of other reasons for expecting carbon-14 to change over time. Creation.com is a great resource.
He's so over this.
I should have bought that domain name when I had the chance. You know what I mean? Did Owen not let him on his land? I don't know what happened. Something happened socially where he got ostracized. I knew that was coming. Poor guy. How come these evolution types never get into taxonomy of the dreaded Croco-Stimpy? It's a cry of happy joy, happy joy, happy, astounding, non-communicating language sounds, yeah. By the way, speaking of degenerate, if you guys think today we live in a degenerate time, I don't even advocate for this, but if you wanted to, go watch any random Ren and Stimpy clip. You will be horrified. Horrified.
What? All right. Oh gosh, guys. All right. I gotta go to bed. I am like, it is so. It's just like red herring after red herring, trying to be like, well, didn't everyone evolve from a monkey? Or it's just like everything is just like. Of course he's a flat earther. Of course he believes in a closed model. I believe in a closed model. So, gosh, dude. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. Thank you to the mods. Thank you to the super fans. Thank you to all the Patreons. Brian F. Helen, Mrs. Dr. G, Russell Bowden, 8664 from YouTube. Ado, Call Me Ness, Rapture, MB Human, Meg, Dave. Thank you to the top supporters of the channel, of the stream, Kathleen, Aeronautical, Sheepadoodle, Regmine, Marliston, Efon, The Miller, Susie, and Allie. Thank you guys so much. Thank you to the top gifters of the night. Thank you so much. 5 Minute, Helen, Mackenzie. Thank you for Mackenzie for all the likes. Helen again, Island. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate you. All right, guys. Today, gonna be an amazing stream too. Gonna be an amazing day. It's gonna be golden. Hope you have a good day. Stay evolved. Hope your DNA doesn't denature instantly inside your body. Alright guys, see ya. Peace. Bye. Bye YouTube. Love you guys. See ya.